World premiere.
Hello, welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. Sean's over there.
Hi.
James is down there.
What?
Hell. Oh, Matt Murray is up there.
Hello.
Proper looking down on us all, isn't he?
You know it.
Hey? This is a week. It's been a big week. It's been a week where James was hinting for me to lend him another game.
No, I wasn't. When did I do that?
And you started going, so what did you think of Mass Effect?
No. That was genuine curiosity. That was not
utter bollocks.
I have no interest in playing that game. So,
Total bollocks. You were just waiting for the right gap in conversations to say, can you lend me that? No, James, no, I can't. I can't lend you. Let me just make this clear on a show now. I can't lend you anything ever again. It's not happening. It's ridiculous. I mean, we've spoken about this Tomb Raider thing for God knows how long. You've completed it yet, and now still haven't got it back.
Yeah.
Still haven't got it back.
I keep meaning to send it to you, but then I just think
£50 that cost me.
You know,
£50.
I mean, I guess
in
the big
idea
exchange.
that within a week,
the big exchange is going to turn up. Surely it's going to happen on the live show, right? That's going to be the pinnacle. We're going to work up.
He's going to turn up here. I said I want him here at 9 o'clock so we can get up there early. And don't say, "Oh, that's stupid," because remember what happened the last two times we went up there when you turned up at 11:30 or whenever it was, and it took us 7.5 hours to get up there because we hit Leeds at rush hour, right? And he's going to turn up here and go and just not mention it. It's just there'll be no mention of the big stack of games he's got in his house.
I've got about 4 of your games. That's it. And
that's all right then.
And also,
isn't
no, okay, but then also, as we've already established, I didn't get all of those from you. Like, some of those came from Matt that he palmed off on me to make out that they were his. I didn't know they were yours, Dave.
How did he make out? There's not one. I'm pretty sure we talked
saying these are Dave's.
You did not. You never said they were his. I had no idea they were Dave's.
Like I would have bought Knack.
It's true. But it's not who it belongs to or if I want, but I don't really want Knack back. I don't want Call of Duty back. It's not about that. It's the fucking principle. Yeah. It's the principle of the matter. Do you know what I mean? Give me my games back.
You're right, you can have them back, but when I'm done with Call of Duty...
Man. Oh, thanks. I can have them back, can I? What a fucking...
I've still got to play Call of Duty, David.
Yeah.
You know,
you don't want to play that one. I've got other Call of Duties here that you can borrow. I will trade you back.
Also, I'll go lend him again.
Yeah, well, when I get my games back, once I've got...
It's just a moment ago you said I would never lend you another game ever again.
Well, I think what it is that I'll lower the quality for a bit. It'll be on probation.
Mass Effect Andromeda is perfect then.
Early trumpet. Right, let's go for the feedback. What's happened on Twitter?
Well, a big one actually, and one that we've actually discussed privately, but then kept forgetting to mention it on the show. Bino tweeted in, just been watching older videos. During the live PSVR special, Farley bet Turners there would be a VR game on PS Plus by August 2016. I would like to know if there was any follow-up on this, and if Farley had anything to do as a punishment for this awful prediction.
Hang on, 2017.
Yeah, what did I say?
There was,
you said 16.
I thought we had already discussed this.
We have discussed this. We have, and it was an app bet, wasn't it? But then no one buys apps anymore. So, I mean, part of your punishment.
I mean, I was wrong, obviously.
What should we get him to do?
It was crazy, but, you know.
I had this idea at one point that we should change what the app bet is and that it should be forfeits for the loser. Something we can use for the show. And one of the things that I thought was trying to contact Peter Molyneux and the loser had to pitch a game to him. I think that would, because that is just all sorts of social anxiety.
Yeah, but he's going to do that, and then he's going to be like, oh, not this shit again. And he's going to be...
Also, it's just going to stop me making bets.
Oh, what's the matter with you?
Actually, I do still owe James for that time I stupidly predicted that the Switch would use CDs.
I'd forgotten about that.
Oh yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
It was less that. It's more the fact that when you said cartridges, in my head I was thinking N64 cartridges or Mega Drive. Obviously, if I had in my mind DS cartridges, I would have said yeah, obviously. But
I totally forgot about it. There's loads of things.
But I remember you were quite insistent. You were quite insistent because you were saying about that's how they'll do backwards compatibility with the Wii U. It'll be running a DVD player.
Yeah, walking around like the big fucking vibrating and shit.
Horrendous.
Speaking of things we forgot to mention, the first episode of the Dark Calls anime is now up on YouTube.
Anime, is that what they're calling it?
That's what he's calling it. Animation Dan, the guy that's done it. And if I'm being honest, a professional animator can name it what he wants. We ain't going to question that, Matt. It's fucking incredible. Search Dark Calls on YouTube and watch it. The guy's called Animation Dan, and the first episode is just so good, like properly good. You have to watch that. And for those of you that don't know what Dark Calls is, it was a podcast James and I did. They're all still on iTunes and that. It was a podcast that James and I did where he played through Dark Souls and could only ring me for help, and I hadn't played it I completed it like a year before, so I forgot a lot about that game. And then, it didn't really matter, spoilers and everything, but James did cheat halfway through and look at a playthrough. But other than that, it was pretty stressful time for James, wasn't it, mate?
It was horrible, but yeah.
James, you have played Banjo-Kazooie, haven't you, before?
Yeah, of course I have.
Oh, damn, I was just thinking with Dave's experience knowledge, that could be. Could pass that down whilst you're playing the game. But
that would be awful. It would not be fun in any way.
That's not like
Banjo-Kazooie is always fun. Feedback. Come on, Matt, let's go.
No. So SMW tweeted in, of course, and he quoted you saying that there wasn't a big boss at the end of Banjo, and that you're going to in for a pretty big surprise when you finish it for 26 times.
Totally forgot about that because I went onto YouTube and
25 times, still forgot.
Yeah, well, it was 20 years ago? 18, 20 years ago?
We don't want to
like
get into this again, but yeah, go on, okay.
Well, yeah, so I went onto YouTube after reading that, thinking, I don't remember that. And then the moment I saw those little stone tower things, I went, oh, fuck, I do. I think it was because it was piss easy. Like, there was it was a really simple boss, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and it must have been just after the game show bit. But, yeah. Good game. Good game.
SMW is also totally with you regarding Banjo being better than Mario 64. Both incredible, but Banjo has character and kept him going back again and again.
Yeah, that's it. I like the character in Banjo. Love that fucking character. Loaded with bloody character.
Can't move a character, can you, in that game? It's ridiculous.
I think we'll be talking about Rare a little bit later, won't we, James? We had a bit of a discussion in it. Yeah, that's going to come up. Go on.
Oh, it's going to come up. And finally, Colonel Red. I've started saying whatnot as part of my real life vocabulary now and traced it back to Matt on Computer Game Pod. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just my own poor use of language.
That's not something I really associate with you, Matt.
Yeah, I don't picked up on that either.
Yeah, I don't remember you saying
it. Oh, no, I definitely say it. I'm sure you even mentioned it on a few shows ago, but I'll try and curb it.
We've mentioned on this show before. I mean, people try and ignore their vocal tics and everything, but we've always spoke about them head on. And,
well, you have to, don't you? When you do this once or twice a week, you can't avoid it, really.
I mean, you pick up on it, and I haven't picked up on that one, so we'll have to keep an ear out for it.
No, because I kept saying that, and I was
recently?
Also saying it is what it is, and you mentioned that.
Yeah, you said that.
It is what it is. You've totally cut that out now. But what was the one James keeps? Oh, I mean, he always says in the beginning, right? He says that so often, it's really like fun. See, because in the beginning, all the time, like he's reading from the Bible or something. And there was another one, but I can't remember what it is. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure.
You can remind me later when I say it.
Yeah, just listen for 5 more minutes.
I'll work out what it is, and then all the way out to Leeds, I will just repeat it to you over and over again.
Nice.
As your punishment for stealing my games. Right, okay, is that it for feedback? You've been serious?
I'll tell you one thing that wasn't on feedback. There was literally no mention of our announcement we do go to a live show. There's nothing.
Oh, yeah, shit.
No one gives a shit.
One tweet about it. No one gives a shit about that, so that's fine.
We'll just have a nice time and not broadcast it. Fuck him.
What is going on? Because I'll be honest, I've checked the list of figures. Still doing bloody good. So how about you get in touch this laziness, right? We have to do this every week, and we are struggling for content. Seriously, the long summer days of a gaming podcast is really bad, isn't it? I mean, I'm talking about Rainbow Six Siege again later. I mean, it's getting that bad.
I've been buying games out of desperation because it's just nothing. It's
still better than Video Gamer, though. If you want to tweet us, it's at ComputerGamePod on Twitter and thecomputergameshow@gmail.com if you want to get in touch, or not, because who cares?
Right, okay, news. Speaking of lack of content, news.
So we basically already talked about this a couple of months back, maybe. It's been officially confirmed Mass Effect Andromeda is not receiving any more single-player updates.
Yeah, there seemed like a second wave of people that, you know, when news comes out and then all of a sudden someone thinks it's like, you know, someone's trying to tell you news that you knew about like a few months ago. Mm-hmm. That's what Twitter felt like when that was announced. It's like, yeah, but we knew this. Yeah. Yeah, people still seem pretty happy about it, to be honest with you.
Do you reckon? I mean, I still think it's a shame, but I'm not surprised. But it makes you wonder, like the fact that they never offered a deluxe edition or a season pass or whatever suggests to me they suspected that this was going to happen, which is a bit.
You say that, but the game was set up for further single-player content, wasn't it?
True. There's a lot of loose ends in that story that we're never gonna get tied up. So that's a shame. But
yep, something's missing. You got to get there, and no, it's not happening. Okay, fine.
Xbox Microsoft did their Gamescom conference, and by all accounts, it was not that interesting. Matt, you actually watched this, didn't you?
Yeah, I sat for it.
I saw it as well. Did you? You didn't see it, Sean?
No, I was busy, mate.
No, cancel all your plans, Sean. What are you doing?
It was 90 minutes. It was 90 minutes of two people sitting on a sofa trying to make out that good things were happening.
Yeah, this will give it. Should we do other news and come back to this? This will give it a big one.
Okay, there's only one other, and it's kind of a brief one.
Why is he producing the show? I don't get. Matt's just like taking control of the show now. It's ridiculous.
Do you want a good show or not?
Yes, but that's why you leave it to the expert, Matt. What? Go on. Well, go on quickly. Just let's get this one out of the way then. Go on.
GameSeek are up to their usual shit.
What is this? I haven't seen anything
basically,
about
right,
this.
They've been doing these, what they call cyclonic deals, which is literally... They'll put a thing up on the Twitter account or Facebook ever saying, you can get a Nintendo Switch for 50 quid. Well, it wasn't that bad, but basically you can get something cheap, and then you go on it and it's like, it's not actually cheap at the moment. It's going to go cheap at this certain time, and if you give us all your details, we'll send you an email when it goes cheap, and then you can come and you can get one. Although the numbers are limited, guys. Okay, so you got to be quick. And the latest one, so they did this with the Switch. They've done it with SNES Minis, and now they've done it. Now they've come for me. They've done it with Everybody's Golf on the PS4. Right?
Yeah, because you were telling us to buy this week.
Yeah, I was nearly caught by this, Sean.
Yeah, and I was caught by like a fucking fly in a fucking web. So they're like, right, you can have Everybody's Golf 15 quid if you come and buy it at like 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I was like, all right, fine, I'll do that. That's a good price for that game. Because that, like, even though the game's only 25 quid, I'm still a bit like, but do I need it right now? But for 15 quid, like, fuck it, why not? And, so this is the first time I come across this. So long story short, signed up. Didn't actually get an email on the day. It was a mate on Twitter reminded me. Went on, and literally it's like, turned 9 o'clock or whenever it was, and the button the button immediately turns to like, okay, order now, and you click on it and it's like, oh sorry, there's none left.
Oh god.
So basically the entire internet's like, this is bollocks, isn't it? Like it turns out they've been doing this for ages, and it obviously it works because it still caught me out.
It says in this article, it says that some people have been able to do it. There's a guy here that's called Charles Tildesley, which for some reason I read as Clive Tildesley, and I just thought
Clive Tildesley.
It says like Clive Tildesley was able to get Destiny 2 and Agents of Mayhem. And it's just imagine playing that.
The thing is, right, this isn't just limited to the games website. I don't know if you know the current situation with Ticketmaster at the moment.
No.
But it makes you want to be sick. It made me so angry, right? I wanted to go and see Queens of the Stone Age at the end of the year. I've waited, I was on the website when it turned, the tickets were going on sale at 9 o'clock. I'm refreshing just before 9 just in case, and it's saying, no, you got to wait. They're not on sale yet. Then boom, they were on sale. I went, brilliant. Freestanding tickets, order now. Sorry, sold out. I was like,
fuck.
It's literally about 4 seconds after this went live. What's going on? So I scrolled down and it went, yes, there are no standing tickets available. However, you can buy from our, from Ticketmaster's owned fan sharing ticket service for like an extra 20 quid a ticket.
So they literally have their own scalpers, basically.
Yeah. This is exactly what they do. So it was just like, what? I can't. So, like, the moment it ticks over, you tell me they're sold out, but I can buy them essentially still from you, but through a fan, right? For an extra 20 quid. Are you taking the absolute piss? So then I got, when you get snarky on Twitter and you always look back at those tweets and go, what a cock. You know what I mean? Yeah. I got all like that. Oh, what are you going to do about this, Ticketmaster? It's like copying in Queens of the Stone, and they don't give a shit. they just want a fucking full stadium. It's absolutely gutting. So yeah, I'm not going to go and see them. So if anyone's got any connections with the O2 or Wembley Arena,
we all want to go.
Me backstage,
3 tickets,
get me backstage for Queens of Stone Age, then you know where to come. Know what I mean? Biggest fan, world's biggest fan. Right? Yeah. But these deals, there's got to be some sort of regulation on them. But that's probably
I'm sure,
legally
they're not doing anything wrong. Like, even if there are only 3 copies available, it's not illegal to do that.
No.
But the way the guy, the CEO, has defended it is bizarre. Repeat references to making history and changing the market, and et cetera, et cetera. It's innovative. And yes, we're not perfect, but we're clearly trying, whereas most other retailers are just drifting through life and accepting the norm. Yeah, and actually selling people things. Heaven forbid.
This guy sounds like the best guy ever. No, I'm not going to get on his back. This guy sounds like the best CEO ever.
Sounds like
he sounds amazing. What? Repeat that quote again.
He said. So the full quote. Well, not the full. The full paragraph for this is one bit. Is, we are doing something very generous. I don't understand. I'm trying to make a difference in the world here and do things never been done before. Yes, it's innovative, and yes, we are not perfect, but we are clearly trying. Whereas most other retailers are just drifting through life and accepting the norm.
I love him. What's his name?
His name is... Shit, where is it? It's just referred to... There we are. Stephen Staley.
Stephen Staley, you got a friend in the computer game show.
Yeah,
that is the best quote I've ever heard from a retailer, ever. Do you know what? That is brilliant. Like, the guy's clearly off his fucking nut.
He says, it's just a promotion. I'm more passionate about gaming than business. I'm in a very unique position where I own 100% of the company and can do things other companies cannot. I have no one to report to, no shareholders, no investors. Ultimately, I am extremely passionate about video games.
Do you know what? With a quote like that,
yeah.
I can absolutely believe that he's more of a gamer than he is a businessman. I could totally believe that's the exact sort of response you expect from a gamer rather than an actual businessman. I love it. Let's get him on the show. Let's make a partnership. Let's make a partnership.
He can be Sean's replacement.
Jesus. Yeah.
Every week. Just the computer game show brought to you by GameSeek Cyclonic Deals.
we could just set him off every week by going, so mate, what do you make of the game at the moment? Games business decisions at the moment, wouldn't you? Yes, let's get him on.
Right, so Microsoft were shite.
Oh, are we getting in the Matt Murray time machine, are we?
I think so, yeah.
The Matt Murray's trying to be like Christopher Nolan.
Stick the Doctor Who theme over this, please.
Go on then, Matt. Look, mugs away.
Well, Microsoft had their 90-minute Gamescom event on Sunday night, and I mean, I watched it. First of all, I thought it was a conference. It wasn't a conference. It was just some of the various Xbox presenters on a couch with some devs that came over, and they showed off trailers for games like Assassin's Creed and PUBG and stuff. They kept saying we've got these like huge exclusives and world exclusives. I mean, there were some new trailers we perhaps hadn't seen before, but all the announcements were things we knew about. Oh no, wait, sorry. There's an exclusive Jurassic World game coming to Xbox as well, and another.
Hang on. They're also remastering a bunch of kids' games as well.
Yes. Yeah, which is
right.
Which
okay,
is
slow down. Before we get to the snark, let's
I can't help it.
Let's actually let's actually talk about what happens, because I mean, has Gamescom, like a Gamescom thing, ever been full of like wicked announcements and stuff? Or I mean, I genuinely don't know. I'm not being.
It is often like usually just microwaved E3 stuff, right?
Yeah,
right.
it comes so close, relatively so after E3. There's not a lot they can do, but I'm very sure they have had. It has been fairly exciting in terms of announcements. But
the Sony ones had surprises before, right? Because I remember it's always now, like everyone gets home from work and like, oh shit! Apparently Sony announced some good stuff.
Although now they're not doing one, and they've actually got their event in December.
Okay.
Which is a full 6 months after E3, so that's a sort of gap they're clearly trying to have.
Makes more sense, doesn't it?
But yeah,
right.
Gamescom is this week. It's like Europe's biggest gaming show. I mean, I've heard loads of people in the past say it's a European E3. It's, you know, everyone seems to be going up for it.
There are people that can't get to E3, aren't they? That's not. No one's saying it's a European E3 with a straight face, are they?
It's actually bigger in terms of numbers, isn't it? I'm very sure.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, but that's like saying that
what it stands for.
That being like bigger, it's like saying that Macau's bigger than like Vegas because they do more money, but it's obviously not.
Yeah, it's good point.
I'm just saying what people have said. Anyway, regardless, they had their conference.
Right, yeah, I watched about 5 minutes of it and turned it off. You could see where it was going. The bit that I watched was player unknown talking about Battlegrounds for a little bit, saying, "Oh, can you tell us about this?" "No, we can't tell you about that yet, but the game's coming out." And then they showed the Jurassic Park thing, which actually looked pretty good. There was a lot of, I mean, maybe it's just my timeline. Maybe my timeline on Twitter needs a refresh, but there's a lot of people going, "Oh, wow, who gives a shit?" And it's like, actually, I quite like that.
I mean, yeah, like, so the Jurassic World game, like, because Matt said in our chat, like, oh yeah, they're doing a Jurassic World game. I was like, didn't that come out 2-3 years ago? But the film, that is, obviously. But no, I didn't realise it's a park building game, but it's made by
theme park,
and it's made by Frontier, who do Roller Coaster Tycoon, which is wicked.
Oh wow!
Sorry, not Roller Coaster, whatever they call Planet Coaster, the new one, because they lost the name, I guess. So yeah, like absolutely, that'll be wicked. But I'll play it on PC, innit?
Yeah, no, totally. But still, yeah, I thought it looked pretty good. But okay, then Matt. So you watched the whole thing? What was announced? What worked? What didn't work?
Well, I mean, essentially, they didn't seem to have anything big to announce. They mentioned at one point there's 100 games are coming that will have Xbox One X hardware improvements. I think there's a list actually on what was it, Trevor Nelson, on Major Nelson's website. I think Trevor Nelson's
TrevorNelson.com. TrevorNelson.com.
Trevor Nelson's going to mention, he's got the whole list on his website. Go there. Yeah, so they mention that. They mention about games such as, you know, Forza Horizon getting 4K patch, Halo 5. There's lots of things about patches and whatnot. They had all the big announcements from E3. It was basically them with perhaps sometimes some new trailers. Like there was an exclusive Assassin's Creed trailer, for instance. They mentioned there was 4K editions of Disneyland Adventures, a Disney Pixar adventure, and Zoo Tycoon. And then a few things here and there. And then at the end, they announced that pre-orders were live, and you can now pre-order your Xbox One X if you so wish.
Right, okay, so it's alright, isn't it? I mean, I didn't when I saw that they had a Gamescom stream thing, I didn't expect anything. So well,
yeah, but isn't this like one of the big one? It's definitely the last big game show before that launch, and it was just another opportunity, especially with Sony not doing Gamescom, for them to really tell everyone why they need to buy an Xbox.
And also, like, they had trailed this a bit, of like saying it was going to be a big thing and that they were going to be showing a lot of stuff and all that and getting people excited and saying there may be games that you get for free if you watch it on Mixer, which doesn't work.
Yeah, I tried it just wouldn't show the video. But
yeah,
they promised free games on Mixer.
No, they were doing competitions and stuff. Like if you watched it on Mixer, then you could like get a chance to win stuff. You know, what's the thing?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of chat. We were talking yesterday, and I thought for once it was quite a mature discussion rather than a massive row. That
we didn't start screaming
into.
at each other, which wasn't that bad.
Was about what's going on with the Xbox One X, and I thought Matt made a good point. There doesn't seem to be a lot of buzz for the Xbox One X, and not a lot of hype leading into the launch. But it kind of feels similar to the PS4 Pro launch, right? It kind of feels, and I don't think that's of any fault to Sony or Microsoft. I just think that is a different market. They're not going, hey, look at this brand new console, here we go. They're sort of just going, do you want a better one? There's a better one now. You can have that if you want. You know, it feels like that sort of thing, and that's the way it's been going. Like, people will talk about the PS5. I'm not 100% sure we'll get a PS5.
I don't think we're going to.
I think we definitely
it's
will.
really unlikely.
I think we definitely will, actually.
Yeah?
I was thinking that today. Like, Microsoft have done this thing, and no one, in my opinion, is really that psyched about it. I'm sure there are really massive Xbox fans who are dying for this thing and can't wait, and they're super psyched. But generally, there's a feeling of, well, you know, it's another Xbox. I wasn't really a huge fan of the One, so I'm unlikely to buy a £450 version of the One with no exclusive titles, really. But I was thinking, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a PS5, because that I think would make everyone think, wow, okay, this is definitely a new generation. And Sony can get that buzz and excitement back, and they can have, I suppose it depends if they're going to have a one platform thing. I was going to say they can have like a big launch lineup and launch exclusives and whatnot, but actually exclusive to that new console. And I think
but you're going back. I mean, we've been saying for years that it looks like these companies are changing to get rid of this whole.
And they've also said that they're changing as well. To kind of, I mean, but the thing is if there's a new PlayStation, then is it going to be like another like x86, basically PC in a box? Because then if they're going to stay with the architecture, then surely it is just another sort of iteration. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a massive change.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah,
totally
but if they do PS5, then I think that gives them the option of saying, here's his exclusive game for this. All the old games work, but these are exclusive titles to this new PS5. And
I think you'll get that anyway. I think you will get that anyway. As I said, it kind of in the way that it works on PC, the way it works on mobile phones and stuff. You will get, eventually, it will start fading out. Okay, here's this new game, but you need at least this console to run it.
The thing is, though,
a PS4 Pro or whatever's next.
Has the PS4 peaked yet? Because I don't think it has.
No, I don't think it has. And what's the difference between the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X is that the PS4 Pro is a better version of the console everyone loves and is still buying in droves, whereas I guess in my opinion the Xbox One X is another version of the console that a lot less people bought, and with the lack of exclusives, it doesn't feel like there's a huge reason to want to buy one, especially a much more expensive version.
Well, this is the other thing that we were talking about as well, though, wasn't it? It's that how important are first-party exclusives compared to getting that third-party support? We that come about because we were talking about Nintendo and. You didn't mean this, so I'm not trying to drop you in it, James. I'm not trying to have a pop here. But James said something about that it really feels like the Xbox One is sort of the new Wii U. And I was saying, well, not really, because the Wii U had excellent exclusives and it failed, whereas the Xbox One doesn't have great exclusives and it's sold over double what the Wii U has sold. So, I mean, what are we saying are the successes and failures here? And I think we all come to the conclusion that pretty much it was the launch. Like, it was the way that the Xbox One launched and how the sort of repercussions of having that arrogance to say, we're changing everything. And in fact, I don't even think it was arrogance. I just think it was just ill timing. Like, it was that whole, you're ready for this, and people weren't ready for that. You know what I mean? And we all know eventually that original concept of the Xbox One will become the norm. Always online, largely sort of digital based and all that sort of stuff. It's all going to become the norm, but it was just way too early to do that sort of shit. And although it feels as though they've changed everything they possibly could to win people back round. I mean, firstly, I think that's largely the problem that Xbox One has got. We all talk about how bad the UI is and how bad the system is. That was built with a completely different mindset. That architecture for that console and the OS was built for a completely different concept.
Yeah, but that's not an excuse now, because they've had years to fix it. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, they've had years to patch what they've already put together.
Multiple times they've changed the UI and it's just got a bit better, then progressively worse again.
Yeah, but I'm not a developer. I don't know how hard it is to try and get it to do what they want it to do. Whereas I think with an Xbox One X, the biggest fear that I've got, right, for the Xbox One X is that they bring it out and it's the same old shitty shit that you get with the Xbox One. I'd be surprised if that was the case.
Like what?
Phil Spencer's been on this, the whole trying to boot a game and sorry, the game's not ready yet. And all that sort of bollocks, how long everything takes to sort of load bits in and, boot up. It's how...
It's Windows is the problem.
Yeah, but we know we know that Microsoft Xbox can do a decent dashboard. We know that from the 360.
Yeah, but that's because it didn't run Windows. It was like running like a custom like OS. Whereas this is like they built the whole thing with the Xbox One was the original strategy was it was going to be part of their sort of like tablets, mobiles, computers, and everything like using one OS like Windows 8, and that's been a bit of a disaster. Like it didn't really work.
Yeah, and there's everything telling me now that the Xbox One X is going to do exactly the same UI and run exactly the same way, and that is a concern for me.
Yeah, I think they've already confirmed that it's the same, but they've obviously they've unveiled the new version of the UI, which is across both platforms, so it's not going to have a drastically different UI. It might be faster, I guess.
It should run better though, shouldn't it? I mean,
it should.
There's no reason why it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But you see, I mean, my point with the Wii U thing was that I wasn't talking about it being the same in terms of like, numbers and stuff like that, but in terms of like the first party in like if you look at like the last year of the Wii U, like last year, it was like they never really had enough, to sort of like show of like why this was like great, because it was like coming to the end. Whereas with the Xbox One, it kind of feels the same as that. Like this like these last couple of months and leading up to Christmas, it feels like they haven't got much, and it's the same kind of feeling that there's obviously they've got third party, which is which is what makes the difference. But for actual like first party stuff, what have they got? That's
they also confirmed since the last episode that I think it was since the last episode, but anyway, Crackdown's been delayed to 2018 now.
Delayed.
Oh god!
So the major exclusive is Forza Motorsport 7. There's also things like Cuphead. I think that's out on PC
the thing is, like, that whole thing with the TV stuff and the launch was bad, but it's also the fact that it really feels like they haven't bothered to sort of, like, nurture studios or anything at all to, like, make stuff for this generation, and they just thought they could solely rely on third party and that would be it, and that was enough. And it doesn't feel like it has been, because when you're making a decision...
But it's got to be frustrating for them as well, because when you had something like Gears of War... it was critically acclaimed. Everyone that I know that's played it have said it's really fucking good.
You mean Gears of War 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. And for that to sort of just be either not considered or... I don't know how well it sold or anything, but I don't think it did well. And it kind of gets to the point where it's like, well, what have we got to do?
Well,
you know what I mean?
I guess what they've got to do. That's the problem.
They do. They totally need more.
They were relying, weren't they, like on three things basically. It's just like Halo, Gears of War, Forza, and like just like rotating them constantly. And I think the thing with Gears was that it just got like franchise fatigue. People just got bored of it, and it's they needed like the thing with Sony is that they've got like a whole ton of stuff, which not even like first party stuff, but stuff like from like Japanese devs and everything that don't come to Xbox, which just offers more variety. There's more different like kind of things to play. And if you're like looking at which one to buy. Sure, like maybe the Xbox One X is more powerful than the PS4 Pro, but there's still like a greater diversity of games on the PS4 Pro that you'd probably want to play than there's on Xbox.
Yeah, it does feel like the gap between Halo's come out, Gears come out, and now Forza's come out, and they haven't really thought about the bits in between, and now they're almost playing catch up with themselves. I don't know. I mean,
after Halo 5, is Halo still really like a massive deal? Really?
Doesn't feel like it anymore, does it?
No.
No, I don't think it is. I think they kind of blew it with Halo 5, and that's crazy. That leaves them in a situation where their biggest, but arguably their biggest franchise is now not anywhere near as powerful as it used to be. And we this is what led us on to the Rare discussion. It was, I mean, they had Rare, you know what I mean? They had Rare, and I mean, really, what have they done with them? Nuts and Bolts. Yeah. Nuts and Bolts was fantastic, and to be fair, Connect Sports was fucking fun for what was not a great system, if you want to call it that. But they had fucking Rare, and they got them to do avatars. It is like, like Rare, for all their faults, and I know some people find them a bit stupid, and there's that whole thing about, well, they just stick eyes on things, and I get that, or whatever. But they had a catalogue of games that they could have worked with and created something out of, and now
they put out
just nothing really.
They put out that Rare Replay, which was brilliant, and then there was so much stuff there you could like get inspiration from to make some new stuff. It would have been really good just for some, again.
Sorry, I know I get asked, like, why do I still not have an Xbox One? Fucking give me a new Viva Pinata, guys.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
It's all right. There's Lucky's Tale. That looks amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Super Lucky's Tale.
So
James,
embarrassing.
Sorry, Super Lucky's Tale. Yeah.
How did they show Super Lucky's Tale just a couple of days before we saw proper footage from Mario Odyssey? That is just wow.
See, this is why it feels like with the Xbox One X, like, I don't know, I'm obviously not an expert in any of this stuff, but I would have thought it would have been better for them to spend the time and the money getting more developers to like make stuff, that was like really interesting or whatever, rather than focusing on this console that I'm not sure is really what the problem is. It's not really the console so much, it's the variety of games.
The thing is, though, the PS4, what I had was, it's the most powerful console. Microsoft clearly got burnt by that and didn't want that to happen again. So now this is the most powerful console, and and maybe they're trying to hark back to the 360 days where generally most people bought multi-platform games on Xbox, and then they had their PS3 and whatnot,
which ironically wasn't the more powerful console.
Yeah, if you go back,
I
mean, like, the original Xbox was the most powerful console, and that lasted like 2 years because the PS2 totally destroyed it.
Yeah, and like the Vita is more powerful than the DS, etc. But Xbox 360 was the place to get multi-platform titles. Maybe they're trying to do it again, but the trouble is that everyone's got PS4s. And you will buy the games and the consoles where your friends already have them.
Yeah,
but that's what they did really well with 360, wasn't it? Because they nailed that with live. Everybody was on live, and if you wanted to play multiplayer games, you were going to play it on Xbox because PSN at that stage was a bit of a mess, from what I remember. Yeah, exactly. So that's
SOCOM.
Yeah,
where you had to plug something into the back of your PS2. My word.
Yeah, so if they're trying to make this okay, if you want the best looking multi-platform games, then get an Xbox One X. But most friends are on PS4, so it's that in that instance, it's not about the power. It's just about where my friends playing, and they're playing on PS4. So I don't see that even being a thing either.
No, and I said the other bad thing Microsoft has got to face at the moment is that the Switch is selling well. And there will be people that say, well, it's a different market. And you're right, yes, it is a very different market. But the thing is if people are going to be buying two consoles, then they ain't going to be getting a PS4 and an Xbox One.
Hell no.
And if they're going to be getting a PS4,
there's even less reason to get an Xbox. Because, okay, well, I've got a PC, maybe it's mid-range, maybe it's super high powerful, but I have a PC, maybe I can play some exclusives there. I've got Switch and Nintendo, and I've got PS4 for multi-platform and the Sony exclusives. And also,
I wonder if that's working out from the PC stuff.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know Sean's had his troubles with Forza and stuff, but
the weird thing
wonder if they're making money
it
from
feels like it would only benefit people who have got an Xbox already and a PC. Like, okay, well, I've got Gears, I'm now playing more than PC. But what's that say? You think?
What makes you say that?
Because I think if you've got. I've lost my train of thought. But I just thought that because if you bought an Xbox, you'd also play on a PC, right? And so if you've got a PC, there's no reason to necessarily. If you've got a PC even plays exclusives like Forza and Gears, there's literally no reason to get an Xbox because you're playing all the best exclusives on your PC. So I fucked that point up. I'm not sure it was even going.
Yeah,
with that.
I mean, I'm totally baffled with whatever you go for. It sounded like you made a point and then went against yourself.
I absolutely fucked it. But
come on, Matt. Come on, mate.
Okay, I'm going to stand
wake
down
up now.
I mean, I think in terms of like calling it play anywhere is misleading, isn't it? Because like you say, is anyone really like thinking, oh, cool, so I can buy an Xbox and a good PC and buy a game once and play it across both? Like, no, like what the offer there is, you don't necessarily have to get an Xbox. To me, that's how I see it.
And maybe that's fine. Maybe Microsoft are fine with that.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because if I'm still having to buy games through their store, it's still getting me in their ecosystem, but without them having to sell me some hardware that they probably don't make a huge amount on anyway. So calling it play anywhere is a bit misleading, isn't it? Because no one's going, oh, that's so convenient that I can.
But it does give it that. It does give it that sort of extra weight to buying a game from the Microsoft store, where it's like if you're sort of ifing a button about it, there is a bullet point on there saying, hey, if you do have an Xbox, then you'll play it on that as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, this is like a really specific example, so this is obviously not what they were banking on. But so I tried the demo of Forza Horizon 3, but say I had bought it and it ran like shit. It would be in the back of my head like, yeah, but if I just bought an Xbox now, I'd have it. I'd have the game. I'd have the game and it'd run. Obviously, that's not what they were thinking of, but yeah.
But yeah, I think, the biggest surprise I've got is by the amount of people calling out Microsoft for their showing at Gamescom, and I don't remember anything specifically blowing up from Gamescom, and maybe that's just my shit memory, or maybe that's I wasn't really paying attention during Gamescom in previous years, but I don't really see a big deal with it.
Did you see Major Nelson doing the unboxing with the gloves?
Oh God, no! Did he do another one?
Yes,
because I said one of my favourite things as an example of a corporation like trying to copy what these, what not content creators, but you know how things blow up and then corporations try and tag onto them to say, hey, look, we're doing them as well.
It's always embarrassing.
Yeah, when Major Nelson did his unboxing for the Xbox One, it was like, hold on. So there's this thing on YouTube where they just take a product out of a box. Is that it? Okay, I'll do that then. Totally misunderstanding. The whole idea is that A, the person unboxing's usually quite excited to do so. B, they go through that and just talk about inane shit in it. Wow, look at this plastic, look at this. Oh, it says this on the box. It is inane shit, but at the same time, it's about the buzz. It sort of kind of captures that. A good unboxing video captures that feeling of, when you get a product home and you're opening it up. And I know that feeling will be alien to some people, but Matt, you know what I'm talking about, right? When you cracking open a console for the first time, you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
but then it was literally Major Nelson going, there's the box, there's the pad, there's some manuals, and that's my unboxing video.
It's also he already knows what's in the box as well, doesn't he? It's not a surprise in any way.
It's like watching like Iwata do the unboxing for the Wii U. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
That's actually good. Like,
see, again, this is going to be like the pro Nintendo bias kind of thing, but it was kind of charming, like when he did that. Whereas Major Nelson doing it was not charming at all. It was a bit creepy and weird.
I don't think I will ever understand Major Nelson. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't think
I've always
ever
been a bit
understand
puzzled. Like he's not actually like a decision maker. He's not actually involved. He is just like a spokesperson, right?
Yeah.
And yet he's not that entertaining or insightful or.
I remember, as I said, a week before the first time we saw him, he was wearing a full suit in a boardroom, and they looked around and said, we need someone to talk to the kids, and they just looked round to him and went, Larry? And he went, yeah, I'll do it. Okay, put on this cap.
We'll make you up like we did with Allard, it's fine.
Where's that skateboard?
Sorry, James, what were you going to say?
No, because like before the 360 came out, that's when he started up like the podcast and everything, and it was before then. It was kind of interesting because they were like, that was before like sort of we knew everything was getting leaked and everything, so they were like giving information about the controller and stuff like that, and it was pretty good. But then they also, I remember when Microsoft first started, like during the 360 generation, they had like all these like what would now be like influencers. Yeah, they like had all these like blogs that they were like connected with and everything to promote the 360. But then it was weird because then they like sacked everybody and just kept Major Nelson, and it's like that. That's probably the wrong decision.
Can you imagine like when Major Nelson eventually gets canned and then he has to make it on his own as an influencer, and he just gets crushed.
I still think the funniest was the Angry Joe interview just after the Xbox One was announced, where Angry Joe was picking up all these points about what was wrong about the Xbox One, and he just you could tell he was getting narked about it, and he was getting angry, and he was going, there is no way you can use this console offline. The whole architecture is built around this concept, and like 3 days later they announced that they were not going to make it online only anymore, and you just think, they've totally sold him down the river there, but at the same time that is just fucking funny.
But I do wonder, like, who does he appeal to? Like, what's the thing?
Who's
there?
a fan of Major Nelson? Like,
the bosses of Microsoft. They know that he's not going to come out with some sort of
people
racial tweet.
People listening to this podcast like, fucking can't believe it, listening to the new computer game show, slagging off the governor.
The boss.
Who do they think they are?
I bet they refer to him as the hog. Oh God, I've got an excellent work story that I can't tell you on this. Right, okay. I'll tell you after. So I mean, I'm not too concerned about how they were at Gamescom, but I am a little bit worried about the Xbox as a whole. Not so much the Xbox One X, because I just kind of think that is the nature of these consoles now, these sort of halfway consoles, or what, if you want to call them that, because it could just be that there will be no next generation of Xbox console, no next generation of Sony console.
Sony will. I reckon they'll blindside them. It's Microsoft and both Sony, I guess at this point, they're both got these mid-step consoles, and there isn't really buzz about Xbox, and the brand's definitely been sort of depleted over the last few years with all the stuff that they've had to deal with over the last since the Xbox One was announced. Basically, if Sony came out, not now, but next year, saying here's PS5, it plays role games, but there's some exclusive PS5 only mind-blowing exclusives. Like, everyone's like, okay, now the generation started, and yet Microsoft have just announced or just released at that point, like a £450 mid-step console. I can see them totally blindsided.
Do you not see that as a huge, huge risk?
People would be really pissed off, I think, if they did that. Like next year. Yeah. It's too soon.
I'm not saying maybe next year, but when they do it, I think they'll go, here's PS5, next generation, it plays role stuff, but this is the next generation. I mean, like, yes, Apple keep saying here's the next best iPhone, but there still plays all the old stuff. It's just that Microsoft's and I guess to a lesser extent the Pro, just like, here's a slightly updated version, but I wouldn't be surprised if they say here's PS5 and it blows everything out of the water, and that feels like, okay, now
mate, if they announce that this early, I'm
not saying now or next year. I'm just saying like.
You did say next year.
Okay, well, let's say 2019. But I reckon Sony will bring the generations back, because maybe they've seen that people aren't super psyched or about it's a slightly updated version. I reckon that's definitely gonna happen. I reckon PS5.
I would like to see how many consoles are being shifted currently. Compared to the same, sort of period, 360, PS3.
It is less. Because it's not as high as it was with that generation, I don't think.
Do you think?
No.
I don't know the figures, but
it'd be good to get those figures. I'm not sure. What would that teach us, Dave?
Well, no. What it will teach us is that, like, for me, it's you're saying, oh yeah, no, you made the point about how if they started bringing out a new generation, they'll get a new kickstart to like they'll get a new kickstart to console sales. But I just kind of think maybe at the moment it's quite steady sailing for the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, and then the tail end will be bigger because once the PS4 starts feeling older, to for me, mine's starting to chug a little bit now, so that general consideration of I should upgrade to a PS4 Pro at some point starts picking up, and I didn't have that option to do that on the last generation.
Yeah. I mean, just think how long like Sony kept with the PS2. Like they kept that for such a long time. Like just kept on like revising it, bringing out new ones because they didn't need to like bring out anything new. And I don't think Sony need to bring anything out new for like quite a while.
No, and they don't now. I know, and it wasn't necessarily about sales, but I just think they will get an understanding from the gaming community or whatever we could call it, that these things just aren't as exciting, and people think, oh, it's just another updated version. I think they can make a huge splash. Not that it's going to happen today or tomorrow or next year, maybe 2019, whatever. At some point, they will say, here's the next generation. It's not just, here's another iterative thing like they have done and like Microsoft's done. I reckon they'll do that.
That just seems like a massive step backwards to me.
But
it seems like they've gone all in. It seems like they've gone all in the idea that it's going to be steps rather than leaps.
But that's just what we've assumed. But because they've done a Pro.
No, it's not. It's what they've said.
It's what they've said.
Have they actually explicitly said that?
I don't know if Sony have.
Also, regardless of they have said it or not, they can also very well change their mind. I don't know. It's just a prediction. Anyway, Xbox One X, who's pre-ordering?
I'll tell you what, it looks nice. I do like the look of the console.
Nice. Yeah, the look of the console looks fantastic. One thing I haven't actually
mentioned is that so they've announced there's this Project Scorpio version. That's what you can pre-order right now. It's got a slightly different look, and it comes with a stand, and it's got Project Scorpio written on it in green writing on the pad, just like the Xbox Day One edition. Was that what it's called? Yeah. So that's what you can pre-order right now. I don't think you can actually pre-order the non-Project Scorpio version. The Project Scorpio version is sold out now on Amazon. It's sold out within a day. Again, I don't know how many they got.
Mean anything, does it? Like you said, how many?
And so some prominent sort of Xbox and Microsoft sort of people and blogs have been told or said that Xbox One X pre-orders are ahead of expectations by a wide margin. Again, I don't know what expectations were.
I thought we'd sell 3.
Yeah. Just to prove we've already got Xboxes. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Just because seeing a list of 100 plus games again updates doesn't make me think I need to buy an Xbox One X. But we've been.
Have you pre-ordered one?
Yeah, pre-ordered 2. Look, I don't know why you're not pre-ordering. It just makes sense to do it just in case.
Well, if anyone
just
from
in case
Microsoft
they
is
announce some games, like
exactly.
Like some exclusives.
Then why you say, "Whoa, Halo 6"? Has that come out already?
If anyone from Microsoft is listening, then and you want this console to sell, obviously, then a good way of doing it is by sending us one. We'll say it's brilliant regardless, and only if it's free.
Oh yeah, and, if we get someone, guys,
fly.
Say what you want. The 4K version of Disneyland Adventures is incredible. System seller, hello.
I'd do that for a free Xbox. Yep, I'd do that. I'd say that. Fine. Also, the only other thing that popped up today was that Sony are set to announce something
this is
new.
Weird.
Was a bit. I thought I had a nailed on prediction, but Sony Spain.
Let's explain it and then hear your prediction because it is ridiculous. But so what's
why is it ridiculous?
It wasn't ridiculous at all. It looked quite reasonable.
Well, yeah. So So explain what it is first.
So right, okay. So they posted up that they had something new to announce with a GIF of something underneath some sort of red cloth or whatever, and I instantly thought, that looks a bit telly-shaped. That I would not be surprised if they announced a 4K HDR TV with a PS4 Pro built in. And why is that ridiculous?
Because I can't believe that ever happening. But one, they want to sell PlayStations, and they've tried that TV thing a few years ago where they had the thing where it's a 3D TV that you can play split screen and it looked like just one display, but if you're looking from different angles you could see the two sort of sides of the game, as it were. And Like, Sony are selling incredible TVs as it is, and they're selling the PlayStations. Why would then they say there's just sort of combined version which has both? I don't see...
What do you think it is, Matt? Do you think it's a PlayStation 5 underneath that thing?
Almost certainly. I mean, so the Spanish, like, PlayStation... The plan is...
You just got done by James.
Yeah,
you literally just got done by James. But Matt, my point is this, is that one of the things that people think about when they're buying a PS4 Pro is, well, I haven't got a 4K telly, or I haven't got a 4K HDR or whatever. You put it in one package, I think people thinking, well, I'm looking to upgrade my telly anyway, you get PS4 Pro on it. I think that's not a terrible shout.
It's the only thing that I don't like. Dave. That's what it is.
Why? Why? I don't understand. Why is it
saying,
awful?
it's £350 for an updated version, updated PlayStation. Oh, well, how about it's a £900 TV and PlayStation? It just that's absolutely bonkers. Well,
I mean, to appreciate what the PS4 Pro does anyway, you're going to need that HDR 4K TV. How's that bonkers? I don't see how you see that's bonkers.
I just can't see that. It's not happening for a million different reasons, but it's just that's an absolute that's one of the craziest predictions I've heard in a long time.
What are you talking about? You
less
predicted
crazy than a PS5 next year, Matt. That's far more crazy.
I just don't.
I think they're a company. They're a company that make TVs and make this console. It just makes so much sense. And the new console they're flogging is almost essential that you have a 4K HDR TV. But putting it in one system is not an insane idea.
That also goes against all the things I've said where, yes, it plays 4K HDR games, it looks incredible, but also you get better versions of your existing games on 1080p sets. And, I mean, some people complain about the price.
How does that go against it? You can still buy it separately. I'm not saying that they're going to stop selling the PS4 on its own.
Yeah, well, I mean, that
wasn't my point.
And actually, looking at the picture now, it does all look TV size. But anyway, the TV shape, anyway.
It's not going to happen because the Spanish Twitter feed, the Spanish Twitter feed put the same thing out, but put an emote of a car next to it, and the actual phrase is "We're geared up to announce something."
Gearing up to something new.
It's car related. It's car related.
I wonder what it could be. I can't wait. It's tomorrow, so by the time this podcast goes out, it would have already been unveiled. But
yeah, it's a good point. And if it isn't a HDR TV, then I'm sorry, but I don't think that's an insane idea. I think that's a pretty good idea. And not only that, for people in the market for a new TV or whatever, to think, oh right, there's a PS4 Pro built in, fucking get that one. I just think it makes so much sense to me. I'm surprised you're so surprised by that.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
James, it makes sense, doesn't it, mate?
It does make sense this time.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in that boat of if I was going to get a PS4 Pro, I would also need the 4K telly to go with it. So yeah, if there was a single unit combined both and did not cost as much as getting them separately, why not? But I don't know. Ooh. I don't know if I'm in a relatively niche situation or if that's.
Ooh, Matt. Ooh.
What?
Ooh, which one to get you now, Liv?
You're all crazy. If you're listening to this and you think I'm right, just tweet us and let us know, because I haven't heard anything this bonkers in a long time. It just sounds crazy.
I can't believe you're saying that.
They tried that other 3D TV thing, and I know that's 3D and that's potentially a different subject, but they tried the physical get PlayStations into TVs thing, and that it feels like they just want to simplify things, not create. I mean, who's going to be selling these? It won't be like game stores because they're not going to have 50,000 TVs in the back room. So
no, they sell them in not Dixon's, but like TV shops.
Sorry, it's not digital.
Yeah, they'll sell them in all price. They'll sell them in Rumbelows. Tandy.
What?
I said they'll sell it in Tandy. Don't worry about it.
Andy.
Xbox One.
I'm sorry, I'm just.
Oh, we're on PlayStation.
I'm just going through your predictions from the E3 show. And,
better than they'll put.
One of them was a new Quake reboot, despite the fact that they've already announced the Quake reboot, and you said no, another one.
A single player one in the.
You literally said. I forgot about this. You literally said the PS5 was going to get announced at E3 this year.
You've been obsessed with this, Matt. It's not going to happen. Not for a while, anyway.
The PS5 is coming. I'm psyched.
Well, yeah, but so's death. Doesn't mean it's going to be
which one's
this
going to come
year.
first? Anyway, that's the news.
Yeah, that. Oh yeah, shit. What you been playing?
We haven't mentioned the biggest news.
Begging for fucking content at the start of the show.
The biggest, we always say, "Oh, it's going to be a short one this week, lads." No, this is 4 hour show.
We're an hour in. We're an hour in.
I mean, to be fair, I'm looking at what we've been playing. I don't think this is going to take long.
We haven't.
I'll get mine out of the way.
We haven't mentioned the Minecraft version, the Minecraft Special Edition bundle for Xbox One S.
Oh, we don't need to.
That's cool.
No, we really don't need to.
They're ripping off Minecraft fans. It's disgusting. Right, okay. There you go. Right, okay, just to explain, they're bringing out a Minecraft Xbox One S, not X, for, what is it, 350 quid?
Whoa!
Yeah, it's just, like, painted and that. They're also bringing out a ridiculously expensive Xbox One, like a Minecraft Xbox One themed controller. That's not bundled in with the 360 with the Xbox One S.
I'll tell you what.
You have to buy that separately.
I'll tell you what, anyone who buys that are going to be livid when they find out about stickers.
Decals.
Decals.
Or decals is decals. Right, okay, whatever. So I jumped back onto Rainbow Six Siege. I wanted to use this segment to say that game needs a sequel. I know they've just announced another year's worth of content for it. The game needs a sequel.
No, they're not going to do a sequel. They're just going to iterate, and that's fine.
I don't think they will. I'm not convinced that they're going to continue with that.
Yeah, I'm joking.
I
Because
was going to say, I thought he was doing a clever...
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, as a reference, Dave.
He was. It's hard to judge with Matt these days.
Keep up, Dave. If you want a good podcast, keep up with this stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic to go back to. I really enjoy it. But the matchmaking's still a bit of an issue, especially if I can't imagine starting that game at this point. It must be an absolute fucking nightmare for people, because we were still coming across games where it's like, the game starts, you walk out and you get shot in the head straight away. And it's got that annoying thing where you get more points if the game is a hard fought victory, which means like it finishes 4-3 or whatever. So that means you get pummeled for 3 rounds in a row, and then the other team sort of either kill themselves or they just make no fight of it. So you bring it back to 3-3 and then they pummel you to just drag it out so they get more points out. It's ridiculous. Right. But it just feels that it needs another big boost and big launch. It's such a good game. It's such a good concept. And if they did say Rainbow Six Siege 2, slightly different maps, you know, yeah, that would be fine with me. Be fine. Because it'd just give it another boost, another influx of players. And like, for example, if Rainbow Six Siege 2 was coming out, you know, at the start of next year, Sean, you'd probably play it, wouldn't you? Because you'd heard good things about the first game.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
And it's like a starting point.
Yeah, getting on the ground floor this time, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel it needs that now. As much as I enjoyed it, we were coming across a lot of games where there were too many people that had played it for too long. Yeah, the matchmaking needs an overhaul, but that's enough of that. I've been playing a lot more Agents of Mayhem. You know, it's my opinions haven't really changed from last week. I'm enjoying it more than I was last week, mainly because I've unlocked Gat, who has a fantastic special move in it. And, you know, the comedy, for me, it's very hit and miss, but there are still moments where I'm laughing, so I don't really mind the bits where it misses. But again, I think I'm coming to the conclusion now that this really needed co-op more than anything else. You know, it felt like it was not an Overwatch game, but sort of a hero style game, but in co-op in an open world. And that makes sense then, because you wouldn't really want to do that with Saints, because everyone would want to either be their custom characters or Gat or something. So wipe that clean, put a load of new characters in there with different special abilities and different options, a different way to level them up. Makes sense. And then to go into the world as teams of 3, going into an open world situation where you're going through this mission set, seems like actually that's the hook. It feels like a game that lost its hook in development somewhere. Because when you're playing and all you're doing is pressing right on the D-pad and switching to a new character, it makes you think, why? Like, it's just, you know, it's no different to changing, like, if I'm in the middle of a fight and there's loads of people around me and they're really close up, then I'm using the dude who's got the shotgun. and then all of a sudden I'm noticing there's some snipers in the way. I move to my bow and arrow lady who can fire long range, and that feels fine, but how's that different to switching weapons? Whereas if there was those two players active at one time, makes total sense. So it's weird. I'd love to know more about how that game was put together and the journey it went on, because I feel that a lot of stuff got missed out on the way, or they had to change things, which is a shame, I guess. I do like the Saints Row games. They've never been, classics for me, but they've been bloody good. And this one still has some fun combat and everything. It's missing something,
I don't think I've ever played a Saints Row game.
Kind of think. Saints Row 2 was... I can't remember if I preferred Saints Row 2 or 3. Probably 3. I think Saints Row the Third was probably my favourite. Saints Row 4 was really good as well, but it kind of fizzled out about halfway through once it... I don't know if it just upgraded you too quick.
Memories are all over the place. So 2 was when it started getting really ridiculous. 3 was when you basically became superheroes, right?
Well, let's go for it. So 1 was
shit GTA clone.
it was a GTA clone that was completely buggy and completely fucking mess, but it was still quite funny for that because it was a mess. 2 was it was like a funny episode of GTA. It was a comedy episode of GTA. 3 was when it started going a bit batshit mental. Yeah. That was the one where you turned into a toilet and doing suplexes on things. 4 was when you become a superhero. Right, okay. It turned that up completely.
And it was 4 when it was basically like the Matrix, wasn't it? But
you were the president.
That's right.
You were the president, and then you become superhero. Yeah. It was ridiculous, but a lot of fun, and it had that whole intro thing. Yeah, because you were in the simulation, weren't you?
Yeah.
It had that whole intro thing where you were in that happy town. And, really funny stuff.
Which one was the one where you had a tiger in a car that you had to like pet to?
That was free.
Okay,
that was free. That was good. I mean, I liked them, but then it feels like actually, if this was an online co-op thing with various different superheroes, that makes sense in terms of progression from the Saints Row 1 to now where we're at. And it also makes sense in terms of gameplay and the reason for this game existing. Without that, it feels weird. It just feels like there's a hole there that something's been taken out. Weird. Strange one. But yeah, it's not sold well. The charts come out today, I think it was, and what was number 1? Because Sonic was Crash Bandicoot again, wasn't it?
Oh, good
return,
wasn't it? Yeah. It was Crash Bandicoot. Then number 2 was GTA 5, wasn't
it? Yeah, it's nuts how that's still selling. Yeah. But there you go. Yeah, so that's what I've been playing. Let's go to James.
Well, I finished Sonic Mania, and I moved on to Half Genie Hero. But Matt, you've also played Sonic Mania as well.
I have, yeah. I bought it. Yeah, I finally bought it because I'm a huge Sega fan. But you were saying, and I'll talk about Sonic Mania in a minute. But you were saying in the week, James, that after last week's show, it did even more. And so, what are your opinions now that the game is finished?
Well, I mean, I kind of feel that it is pretty much what everyone's saying it is, which is, really very good. I mean, I felt like I was wrong at the end of last week because I was saying that the levels that I got to were starting to feel a bit sort of congested and a bit too big. And then straight away after that, there was about 3 or 4 of them that were just amazing and really sort of short and snappy and really well developed. It was really fun. The only thing I didn't like about it was I hated the final zone, but I think that was just me because I wasn't very good at it. But it is, I mean, in general though, it's still fantastic. I think I read today, like they said, if they allowed digital downloads in the charts, it would have been probably number 1 because apparently it's done really well.
Yeah, I hope it has, and I've seen so many people, talk highly of it, and it's such a great game. It feels so perfect to play on Switch, especially I don't know, also because I've got the red and blue Switch. It just feels very Sega. yeah, it's a joy to play. I'm only, I think, on
having a red on blue switch makes it feel
I know,
very
it's
safe.
just, yeah, it's all like sort of the primary colours. It just feels like, I don't know, it feels right. Anyway, it feels also just great.
Fuck you.
What? What's your problem now? Dave, come on.
Okay.
No, what's your issue?
Having a red and what's
You know, it's
fucking
like
Sega
if you got
about
like
primary
a
colours?
if you got like a Minecraft Xbox One S, it'd be better for playing Minecraft.
Exactly, yeah. It just felt really Sega. It felt like it just felt Super Sega to have Super Sega. It just felt really Sega-like to have this big primary coloured machine and playing a newish Sonic game.
Alright, okay.
I'll be honest.
I do wish that Sega would let them, that there could be some more like sort of fan projects now. Yeah, that they could like have a go. Because like the Streets of Rage series, that's been like remastered and redone before as well, but then like shut down, by Sega. And it's just a shame because it would be really good if they could like release a couple more of these sorts of things because the quality is so good. It's
What would be number one? What would you like want them to hand the keys over to?
absolutely Streets of Rage. I'd love to see that series come
Really?
back. Yeah.
I can't see myself playing a side scroll and like beat 'em up for.
It's still good though.
I don't think I could ever get into that.
I mean,
again.
that's a game that I buy on anything when it comes out. Like, I've
Really?
I've got it on 360. I bought it on 3DS as well. I buy it on anything because it's still partly it's nostalgia because it's like I played it a lot when I was a kid, but then also this like Streets of Rage 2 is still a really good game. It's fantastic. The music,
Okay,
the whole thing.
I preferred Freedom Force on that was like a 3D version, wasn't it?
Oh,
Freedom
Awful,
Fighters,
Matt.
Freedom Force.
You're being sarcastic now, right?
Yeah, I know it wasn't a good game, but I did enjoy playing it.
I just remember loving the Simpsons game, and then they brought it out on the Xbox 360, and I thought, why am I playing this? This is not very good.
You play it with a couple of people. It's with another person. It's brilliant. It's still a really good game, and the music, the soundtrack for Streets of Rage 2 is like one of the best in gaming. It's fantastic.
On mute, Matt. You have that on mute, do you?
I have what on mute? On Sonic?
Streets of Rage.
No, I haven't played Streets of Rage.
Oh my goodness!
That's a joke, that's a joke.
Whatever.
You've not played Streets of Rage?
What even now? I have played it, but back in those days, I probably didn't have it on mute because I probably wasn't listening to a podcast in the 90s.
Good point. So, Matt, what have you made of it?
Well, honestly, I haven't got an awful lot different to say, except it makes me feel really nice. It looks gorgeous. The issue with like pressing the home button and having to wait a few seconds is a bit annoying. As you mentioned last week, I know it's not the end of the world, but I worry that it's going to crash or I'm going to lose like progress or something. But regardless, yeah, I haven't played a Sonic game in so long, so honestly, my memory of the previous games is hazy. So there's probably loads of references that I'm not getting. But obviously, that bit at the end of stage 2 that everyone mentions is absolutely brilliant. I hope there's lots more things like that's going to come up. Is there lots more things that like that, or James, or was it?
Yeah, there's loads of stuff like that. I mean,
good,
there's even like a nod to like the Master System games in there, like in a
brilliant.
couple of times, like with the level design, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
Is there a Sonic spinball bit?
Yeah, I was going to ask exactly that. Yeah.
no.
There's no Sonic reference.
Sonic Spinball was okay. I'm not going to say it was never good, but it wasn't that great. It was alright.
Oh, man, I love
I
Sonic
think there was like a
Spinball,
Sonic Spinball
genuinely.
reference in the background of one of the ones I just played. You know, I think it must be like the third or fourth stage with all like the red balloons that you can use to bounce across the map. I swear there's a Sonic Spinball reference in the background of that. But
Or was it a Heavy Rain reference?
what?
The red balloon. Oh, forget
Oh
it.
yeah.
Oh, fucking you smashed it again, James. You smashed it, and we totally missed that. Fuck.
Ugh.
All right. Well done. Well done.
Anyway, great game. I'm finding it quite
I
difficult.
the way you went.
What, me?
No, James.
Oh.
He did the same thing when he saw the origami book in the
Origami.
old ladies. What?
Origami.
What? Oh, that's what they call it, innit? Origami. When he found it in the old lady's hospital room, he went, huh? It was exactly the same noise. Go on. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I'm finding it quite difficult, I must say. I've died a fair few times. On a couple of bosses, I'm trying to work out how you did them, but then I eventually got my head around it and whatever. But yeah, it's really, really quick to sort of get back into the game. It's a Sonic game. It's really good.
Have you been playing it mainly in handheld?
Yeah, I've only played it handheld. Yeah, I haven't played my Switch in the dock for months now.
Really?
Yeah, just I don't know. Well, I've been busy with other things, but I play a lot of some of the to and from work on the train.
Yeah. No,
and
you're definitely not alone there. It's just mine still gets fairly regularly from the TV.
I basically only put it in the dock if I maybe played it in the day to and from work, and I want to quickly charge it rather than. And I was putting it in there rather than attaching it to a charging cable elsewhere. But I don't
See,
really bother.
that's what I'm saying. That's the weird thing about the Switch, isn't it? It just shows you how it caters to so many different things, because I've barely played it in handheld recently. It's all been on the telly, all been on the dock. So
that's what's so good about the system,
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that you've only played it in handheld, but at the same time, I can't relate to it because I only really play it on the TV at the moment, which is why I need a fucking Pro Controller, man. Needs to happen.
I would like a Pro Controller, and maybe for like Mario Odyssey, or maybe when the Monster Hunter game comes out, I'll be inclined to do that more on the TV, and therefore want the Pro Controller. But right now, it would just be sitting in a cupboard gathering dust, I guess, because I'm happy playing in handheld mode. But yeah, Sonic Mania is absolutely brilliant, and for 15 quid, it feels like really, really good value. It just I'm gonna. So how many hours do you reckon it took you to finish in total, James?
I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 hours, maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, okay. I've probably done at least that already. Just fanning about. Because I am rubbish. But yeah, fun. Good game. I'll definitely recommend it.
While we're talking about the Switch, one thing that was missed out from the news, let's just take a little bit of break from what we've been playing, was that the new Splatfest was announced. And there was quite an interesting chat about it in the WhatsApp group this week. So what is it, Matt?
It's
what's the choices?
Well, it's a battle of superhero abilities, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so the battle. It's either are you team invisibility or team flight.
Now, let me explain. We were thinking about saving it for the show to announce what side we were on, but there was no way we weren't going to, talk about it before then on Twitter and stuff. So here's the thing. I've said there's only one answer. Matt said there's only one answer. James said there's only one answer. Turns out a couple of different answers given. I said invisibility.
Nah.
And then we all said flight.
Yeah, because
we're not mad perverts.
Because we're not deviants.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Also, before we get into this, Dave says, one of you will convert after I talked about it on the podcast. So let's hear how you're going to convert us, Dave, from the ability of flight to see the entire globe, or the ability to go into girls' changing rooms.
Boobs are not enough,
Let me have the floor for just a moment while I give you my sales pitch. Firstly, James, when you say, we're not sexual deviants, James, everyone fucking knows you are.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to advertise it. It's...
That's it. Don't be just shame. Right. First of all, I'm the most honest. So let's get that out of the way. Take the sexual deviant stuff out, which I know you're going, that's so bad. You'd all fucking do it, so shut the fuck up. Take that to one side, right? That's not a consideration.
No. I'm not saying. No, I'm not. I don't want to rest. You said, can you explain? I mean, if I was 12, of invisibility because I can go into girls' changing rooms. What? Honestly, what would you be using it for now? Give me an example.
Let him speak. Let him speak. I'm curious.
Thanks. Right, listen. I'll take that. Just ignore all that shit. Right, I'm not saying flight would be bad. I think it would be amazing. Like, it's brilliant. But technically, you can fly anywhere. You just get on a plane. You saying that you can see the globe? Yeah, I just get on a plane. I can see everything. I go fly somewhere if I want to fly out. Think about being able to be invisible. You could get into any fucking sporting event you ever wanted, any gig, cinemas, just walk into. You just get it. In fact, I can invisible my way onto a plane and go anywhere in the globe. Fine, I can go there.
You won't be able to sit.
You could. Yeah, so you sit on the floor. You'd be alright.
No, because people trip over you.
You could fly to a football stadium.
I can fly over the football game and watch it from the air. The best view ever.
Yeah, you can fly over the football game, But are you getting into the changing room, sitting listening to what they're all saying to each other, Matt?
No, because
Are
I'm flying
you
off
sitting
to Australia
on the
or
side
New
of the
York or something?
stage at Glastonbury, watching your favourite band play in front of them on the fucking side of the stage?
I could be flying
Are you
above the
doing that?
stage.
No, you won't be flying. And you're talking about, oh yeah, I could fly all over the globe, but it'd take a fucking long time.
Well, we don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know how fast
Yeah,
you
it
can
could
go.
be
Do
speed
we?
of light.
Yeah,
hold
but
on,
we can't
whoa,
get into
whoa.
the mechanics of the.
Yes, we
No,
can.
hold on, Sean. Sean,
All night.
that's someone.
No, we
That's
haven't.
someone's choice crumbling there for a start. Sean, you
Someone's
can't have
converting.
flight and supersonic speed. That's a separate fucking ability.
All right. Well, what's
You
a
can't just
reasonable
bundle those
speed
together.
for flight for you then?
I
60
don't know,
miles an
running
hour.
pace.
Running
Yeah,
pace.
running pace.
Running pace.
It'll be so
Yeah.
slow. You'll be like,
Are we going to
along.
start putting limits on the invisibility as well?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
only,
Like what?
20
only
minutes
works
at
for
a time.
20 minutes.
I'm not
or something.
like
limiting-
heat
you can-
cameras.
Hold on, whoa. James, I'm not limiting the flying ability at all. What
You
I'm
are, you're saying
saying
you can't
is
go
that you
fast.
haven't got supersonic speed. Why have
Doesn't
you
have to
got
be supersonic.
supersonic speed? How fast then?
I don't know. I was assuming. I mean, like. I don't know.
assuming
Like about
like
100 miles
Superman.
an hour. Something like
yeah,
that.
the speed of the bullet
100
train.
miles an hour. How can you possibly go as a human from, the fastest you could travel is what? I don't know.
Yeah, but
How
this is
fast
using
can you run?
flight, Dave. I don't have to kick my legs against the air to be.
Yeah, but you haven't got jets in your
Dave,
fucking
how
Yeah, but
can
feet.
it's
you-
a superpower.
Look, we don't know any of this
How
stuff.
can a human body
Should we
suddenly turn
contact
invisible?
Nintendo and ask them?
Look, the superpower is flight. It's not in unnatural speed, is it? You can't just bundle another superpower.
I understand
in.
super
That's
speed is a separate
superpower.
power, but flight you can still get a fair clip going.
But how does the mechanics of the invisibility work?
Yeah.
You go invisible.
Oh, brilliant.
But
Okay,
then-
Is
that-
it
that's
time
fun.
limited? Wears
But
off
can-
after.
yeah, but
Why
can
is it
you-
time limited?
Can you become
Is
visible
flight
again?
time limited?
Is it like a one-time thing?
Do you have to take
what's
all
the
your
thing?
clothes off, or does it make your clothes invisible as well?
Yeah.
Right, okay, look
Yeah,
again.
or it's
Right,
like
no,
floating
you have to take
clothes.
all your clothes off. I did actually think about this. You did have to take all your clothes off, which means you do have to travel home naked.
And
But
be
no one can
freezing.
see you anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
Can you imagine if
You
you went
could
into
get
one of
away
those
with
football changing rooms and then accidentally became visible? It'd be
No,
terrifying.
could you imagine
Also, if you're
flying
not
and then
something over.
accidentally not flying, James?
Okay,
what would be
so
worse?
if we're being super realistic about this, you do realise that being invisible also makes you blind, yeah?
What?
Because in order to see, light needs to be able to bounce off the back of your eyes. If you're invisible, that's not happening.
Ooh.
Travelling
He's
100
got
miles
you
an
there.
hour up in the air like that,
Yeah.
you'd freeze for a start.
Yeah, we just won't
You've
go
got-
that high.
this-
It's fine.
I mean, come on. You're
ground
being
level.
silly. You're being silly now, aren't you? Invisibility, there's so many more advantages. I just, me going, I couldn't get Queens of the Stone Age ticket. I'll be on the side of the stage. I'd be watching them chat to each other in their
Yeah,
dressing
but
room.
watching
Just
the
like,
gigs on your own, that'd be so depressing. Oh,
People
guys, you
slamming
might not-
into you
might not
'cause they
got
don't know you're
tickets.
there.
You might not got tickets,
I'm
guys,
sorry,
but I was on the side of the stage on my own.
Fine by me. Fine by me.
I mean, I
So,
wouldn't mind,
it's,
I guess.
it's worth.
David end up like
I
fucking
would take
Notch.
that.
Like none of his mates can join him on his incredible adventures.
yeah. The thing is, all of my mates are pretty dickish anyway, so it's not like it's not
Hey,
a
that's
big deal
bit
for
harsh
me.
on James.
It's the truth. I thought about this. Flight would be amazing, right? But firstly, you can't just add supersonic speed to it. That's not how it works. Secondly, if I wanted to fly it around the globe, I could invisible my way onto a plane. It'd be fine. Thirdly, football matches. I could sit in the goal. I could literally sit in the
The
goal.
ball would hit you
with
in
my
the
legs crossed.
face.
People think there's a ghost in the fucking goal because a ball hit
What?
something.
They can't see me. They can't see me.
Exactly. So
Yeah, but there would be a global concern that there's something invisible in the goal that is hitting.
conspiracy nuts
Sorry.
to be going mad.
Yeah.
Well, if I sit in the goal Millwall shooting into, then ain't nothing going to be hitting me there. It'd be fine. It'd be fine this season. Would be all right. Yeah. So what? You're all still sticking with Flight?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is basically Far Cry Primal all over
I
again.
don't think it's the most convincing reason other than seeing Millwall games, which I don't want to see anyway. Or
You can go to Crystal Palace. I don't know why you would want to this season.
no, I mean I don't
or
want to.
any
And I'm a
season,
fan.
really.
But I would love to
Think of all
fly
those
over the
banners you
ground
could see.
and straight past to Barcelona.
Fly past the
Fuck it
ultras. You know,
Is
but
it? Or the games have begun. Yeah.
No, I'm not. Flight's not convincing me. Man. It's all about being invisible.
I think we'll see. I mean, I won on that the pre-released Splatfest. I was part of the winning Mayo team. I think it's we 3 from 3 now. I mean, Flight is going to win.
We'll see.
Invisibility, Jesus. Maybe all the 12-year-olds will go, it's amazing.
Also, women's changing rooms, isn't it? Right, James, have you played anything else?
Yeah, the only other thing I played is like Shantae Half Genie Hero.
Oh, yeah.
Which...
God,
that sounds like a
yeah,
kid's
I knew
TV
this
show.
was going to be your reaction,
Sounds
Dave.
like Shimmer and Shine.
It so does.
And to be fair, if
so
Dave
tough.
saw like the main character, that wouldn't help.
Yeah. No, Shimmer and Shine has a fantastic theme tune.
Yeah, no,
And
it's a great show anyway, yeah.
It's very, very catchy.
It's not a great show.
Yeah, great show.
It's no Dougie.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not a very good show, but the theme tune is brilliant. It's a banger.
It is good.
One of the all-time.
It is good.
But anyway,
Yep.
Half Genie Hero. I mean, it is a bit of an odd one because I mean, none of you have any of you played any of the Shantae games before?
I have, yeah. I can't remember
Which
what
one?
any of them were called. I just know I've played a bit of a few of them and really enjoyed them.
Yeah, they're like. I mean, there's been 4 of them. I think this is the 4th one. I'm not sure, but it's basically like a platform game with adventure elements. It's a bit like, you remember I was talking about Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap, a few weeks ago. It's really similar to that. It's that same sort of like, you sort of, you explore, then you find items that then allow you to go back to other areas to unlock stuff that you couldn't before, and that kind of stuff. And it's by Way Forward, who they sound like, I don't know why, but
Sean's just sent me a picture of the character from the game. This is the segment after James said, "I'm not a deviant, Dave. I'm
you're
choosing
playing the game.
visibility. I'm playing a game like this."
Which one have you sent? I can't.
Which
I
one?
can't see it. Yeah.
Is it one of my faves?
You should see the mermaid. There's this bit with the mermaid, which is insane.
Jesus Christ. This cunt says that he wouldn't choose invisibility.
You were
What a
slagging off
fucking liar.
Fire Emblem Heroes, and it's full of this stuff, James. You should play
Yeah,
that
I
game.
know, but this is a good game. That's the difference.
James, you're a fucking liar. Go on.
So anyway, this is by Way Forward, which for some reason I always thought were like a Japanese developer, but they're not. They're like American, and they've got a really sort of weird checkered history of like publishing, of just like mostly licensed stuff, which doesn't look that great. But then this was published. The original one was on the Game Boy Color, was published by Capcom, and sold, because I was reading about it today, like it sold really badly, but the reviews were good, and it ended up being a kind of a cult hit. And then there was like a couple of other releases, and then we get to now where they crowdfunded on Kickstarter this game. And it's actually good. It's had like a pretty good reception, and it's just, as with Wonder Boy, it looks really nice, obviously, because the character design is interesting, I think.
Interesting, he says.
And it's got really good animation as well. And I mean, because the last one I played was on the 3DS, and it didn't look so good because it was all like pixelated.
Really
so
hard to make out the bodies.
Yeah.
I just couldn't finish, Dave.
I mean, I did finish. It took a good minute.
It took a couple of seconds longer than I wanted it to.
Well, that'd be no problem in this because it's in HD and it looks.
It's spraying everywhere.
James Farley,
And
half-minute hero.
Yeah, it's not bad, Matt. It's quite good. But
Thanks.
but it's not bad at all. I mean, it's got very, very good animation, which also helps. And I don't know why. I mean, obviously, because of like the environment and the kind of characters it is, it reminds me of Aladdin on the Mega Drive because there's a kind of like that kind of vibe to it, and it's got a really good soundtrack. But it's also got these like really like sort of like good like sort of contemporary references, and they go for like the whole meme sort of stuff. But it does kind of generally work. I mean, I'm not finished with it yet. But it is really good. Sorry, go on. It's like I think after playing Wonder Boy and Sonic, this felt like a good thing to go to next because I don't know, I was kind of putting off buying it, but then it's good. It's well worth playing. I mean, I'm playing it on Switch, and it feels really suited to the platform.
Yeah, is this the one that has a touch of the Metroidvanias, or was that a different one?
Yeah, this one does, but then so does the 3DS one as well.
Okay.
Like it's quite similar, but it's not quite the same, as in it does feel not dumbed down, but like not quite as sort of complex as those. And which is weird because the actual game is actually quite tough in places as well. It's in a kind of a weird space because it's quite difficult in places, but then also like the game mechanics are like really simplistic, so it's a bit odd. But it's still really worth playing. I'm really enjoying it. not just for the character designs, which are interesting. But yeah.
For what it's worth, Dave, the bosses in these games remind me a lot of Metal Slug, if that helps.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
I'll send you a pic. This is a picture of the boss I'm talking about.
Christ.
I know this is no good, but I'm going to stick it in the Discord anyway.
It's not more tits,
funny.
is it?
Well, you could say that. Have a look.
Whoa. James, you're a disgrace. You're an invisible man. Oh, we all know it.
You can see there on the left, like, there's your character, the size of that, and then look at the size of that mermaid.
Look at the size of them. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's great, because it's...
I still think it was funny that someone turned around and said... Well, who was it that turned around and said, we all know that James upgraded his armour in Zelda Breath of the Wild way too much. You know what I mean? That just kept going back.
Makes sense. James has got a full-on giantess thing. Okay.
Yeah, blatantly, yeah.
Now we know.
In which case, James, you would love PSVR porn.
It just suddenly hit home there. Like,
I just remembered what Brandon was saying about that. That whole thing about them being massive and just like a giant. That's just really funny and off-putting. Yeah.
It's so funny that I'm going to have to go and check it out for myself.
Yeah, so funny. I've just ordered one on Amazon.
Yeah, but it's a good game. It genuinely is a good game. It's worth a look.
Fine. Okay, no one believes you. Next person to speak now is Sean.
Hello. I've been playing a telephone game called Data Wing.
Oh, yeah.
It's, for some reason, it's free, and it's probably one of the best phone games I've played in a long time. It's unbelievably simple. You have a little triangle on the screen, and you press on either the left or right-hand side of the screen to make it turn left and right. And basically each level is you flying around these courses and stuff. Some are quite open and some are really restricted. And basically the trick is, so any of you ever play Thrust? No?
Nope.
Okay.
But I have played Data Wing.
Well, good. So basically your ship has quite a lot of momentum to it. But the trick is, so you're this little triangle and you have this little jet engine coming out the back and you sort of always accelerating unless you press both sides of the screen to brake. But the trick is, if you can get near a wall and sort of point away from it, you boost off it. It gives you a bit of extra speed. So basically the trick is, as you're going around these courses, it's all about just getting these perfect angles and essentially grinding round the outside of every corner and just doing that perfectly, and it just feels fucking amazing when you get it right. You do fuck up a lot and crash a lot and it's a bit frustrating, but just when you nail it, it's fucking brilliant. And there's each level seems to add something slightly weird, quite early on. It'd be oh, by the way, sometimes there's gravity, so in order to actually reach a higher point, you've got to do this wall grinding thing. And then some levels it'll go mad and you break out of the track and have to do other weird shit. I can't believe it's free. I really like it. There's there's a couple of levels.
In-app purchases, because I downloaded it and played a fair bit, but
there's none at all. No, it's completely free.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love the look. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's sort of got old. I don't know how to describe it. Sort of. It looks almost like the layers of the graphics are slightly off kilter. So.
Yeah, because it's essentially just old style sort of vector graphics, but there's other sort of weird stuff going on. The soundtrack's really nice as well. It's all chill wave stuff for some reason.
And the dialogue is strange, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. There's actually what appears to be a half decent story, which I'm not going to get into because I don't fully understand what's going on. But basically, there's this AI that's making you do these levels, and it's trying to break out of the computer it's in and stuff. And it's just weird and interesting. I've been properly enjoying it. There's a couple of tracks, for some reason, not all of them, but a couple of them have leaderboards. But obviously, because I'm on Android, I've got, I don't even know how you add Google Play Games friends. I should probably find out because at the moment I'm the only person on the leaderboards. But I was really enjoying it. I was really surprised by it.
Yeah, it's out on Android.
Sean, I'll tell you this, mate. I will try that game out.
What?
I will try it for you, mate.
Right.
I'll let you know if it's good or not.
Oh, thanks,
know
mate.
What I mean?
Cheers.
No worries. Just the sort of guy I am.
It's nice.
Right. Matt, what you been playing?
I've been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on the personal computer.
Nice.
Talking about, I mean, you really went for me when I fucked my free stream up, but wow, I watched your Battlegrounds stream. I mean, seconds you lasted in that computer game. So,
it's tough.
Oh, there's a guy there. Dead.
Yeah, it's tough old game. But so I got a PC and I've been playing on that, and it's so good to have a PC again.
Oh shit! I didn't realise you actually bought a PC.
I didn't really tell anyone either. So I mean, I've been talking to John Dent every day about it for Fortnite because he obviously does streaming. So I'm like, why isn't this working? And I was tearing my hair out. That's basically what I haven't been playing much in the way of games recently, because for literally about, I guess, mostly 3 weeks now, every single evening for hours, I'm like, why isn't this working? And this doesn't work. And it's been an absolute fucking nightmare. The amount of cables I've bought and virtual cables and inputs and outputs, it was horrific. But anyway, regardless, I've got there. And yeah, I've been playing some PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds because the PC I got was never intended to be playing games in it. It's an old PC I bought for my mate, and the specs are super old. But I also got a 770 from another mate, a GTX 770, which I think is again a few years old. But I thought I'll try PUBG as it's affectionately known, and it didn't work at all. Well, when I first started playing it, it just kept crashing, but then there's tons of little settings and tweaks you can do, which you can get from Reddit and places. Now it seems to be in a half decent place in terms of actual gameplay. I mean, it's obviously not going to be like a 1080p 60 frames a second mother on this PC, but also I've heard that even the highest spec PCs still have some troubles with it because it's early access and it's unoptimized. But just to go back to the PC, I only really bought this PC and set up streaming for Destiny 2 on PS4. It's never meant for PC gaming, but I want to play PlayerUnknown's, and I have been just while I'm doing my test streams, and it's a really, really super fun game. I mean, I'm sure everyone's heard about it, but the aim of the game is it's basically like Battle Royale. The game, you start off in a server with 100 people, and the game starts, and you're all in this plane, flying above this island, and then, you can then, at a point of your choosing as well, you can disembark from the plane, and then you get to parachute down to the ground. At that point, you can play third person or first person, and it's battle royale, and that you've got to be the last person to survive. So when you first start the game, you have nothing on you. You've got no clothes, you've got no weapons, and then when you land, it's basically a race to go to a building to find what clothes or armor or weapons are in there. Obviously, when you first start and first land, you see, a server's supposed to have 100 people in it. Sometimes it could be 90, but generally there were 100 people in this plane and then parachuting down to the ground. Excuse me. So when you land, if you're parachuting with loads of other people and you all land together, then it's just it's just punches basically to try and kill the closest people next to you, or run into a house and try and get a gun. So the first 2 or 3 or I guess 5 minutes of a game are absolutely crazy when you're trying to get into a building, try and find a weapon, maybe find a weapon but there's no ammo, maybe find ammo but there's no weapon, and at that point you might just be running around your pants, or maybe find a helmet. It's immensely fun. I've played a fair few single, just me on my own, but I've also on Saturday night I did a stream and I played some squad modes, and that's really, really fun. So in squad modes, at least when I played, there was 3 of us in the squad, and there's a fair few teams, I guess teams made out of 100 anyway. So that was much better actually, because I stuck with my teammates and they were telling me to go places. They were also quite annoyed at me because I didn't know how to play the game. So at one point I was blocking someone on a stairwell and they had to shoot into the ceiling to get me to move. They also, my two teammates were doing the teabagging action to try and tell me to duck, basically, because someone was coming past us, and I think they got pissed off because I basically got them killed. Sorry, I haven't told you the aim of the game. Yeah, so the aim of the game is basically you start with 100, and the aim is obviously to be the winner at the end. What it does is it's a massive map, but to stop people just going away and hiding in the corner, that map is constantly shrinking. So there'll be 5 minutes. We'll say 5 minutes you'll get to this zone, and then if you're outside of the zone, basically it's this giant blue what looks like a force shield thing. When you say stay in one place and that goes past you, so the circle shrinking, you're outside the circle, you are gradually taking health damage. So you've got to be in the middle of that circle. You can't really be outside of it for very long. You can survive for a bit, but not long. I mean, I don't know, like a minute or two, if that.
The smaller it gets, the harsher the punishment is for being outside that circle. Right?
I'm not aware of that. I mean, I've heard tons about this game, but I haven't played enough. And then when I was doing a stream on Saturday, and I guess also maybe the Friday or Thursday, whenever everyone's saying, do this, I didn't know how to do it, didn't know how to go prone. People tell me, you need to press this button. I didn't know how to run at one point. So, I mean, thanks ever so much for listeners who watched the stream on Saturday, because they were all telling me how to do things, and I was learning with them. I made some pretty major mistakes at various points. One of the big ones that obviously I was streaming, so I was talking to people in the chat and on YouTube and Twitch and stuff, and I, just having a conversation as you would doing your streaming. I'm slowly sort of going through this courtyard. There's a few buildings near me. I see a guy run into a door right near me. I'm like, oh my god, okay guys, this is it. I'm going to get my first major kill on PUBG. I'm quite excited. I've got some guns here. I've got some armor. I'm quite psyched. So he goes in, and it's not a huge house, but I'm outside and I'm sort of like creeping on the outside. There's a couple of windows, and looking through the windows. He can't see me. I'm basically to chat saying, I can't see where Sucker is, but he's in there somewhere. And I'm like, where is he? Where's he? I can't find him. This is crazy. I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to go in. I mean, he isn't coming out. I don't think he's come out, but he's in this house somewhere. It's not a huge house. I should be able to find him. I should be able to kill him. So I'm going to go in through this door now. And then I went in. He saw me. Bang. He killed me.
Proximity chat.
Yeah, proximity chat. I'd forgotten to turn that off. And people in the chat like, Matt, you've changed the audio settings so that it's not proximity. I'm like, I think I'm fine. I don't think that's the issue here. And when I obviously got killed and went back to the main menu, I went to my voice chat, and it was always, and then everyone in the chat died of laughter because basically that guy was in there just, I guess, laughing to himself, because there's some guy outside saying, oh, I'm going to kill this sucker. I wonder where he is. I'm going to go in through the front door now. Doo-doo-doo. And
I watched a video today of best examples of proximity chat in that game, and there was one where these two guys walk into a house, and they heard a slight noise, or they knew someone was upstairs, and one of the guys that was downstairs went, okay, cool, you got that, let's go. And then they opened the door and then closed it again, but just stayed downstairs.
Oh.
So the other guys upstairs went, okay, they've gone, let's go downstairs. And then just like completely shot them up. It was properly well done.
So the as well as the circle, the aim is obviously get to be last player alive, and then you get the winner chicken dinner, which you might see a lot of people talk about on Twitter and whatnot. But yeah, it's an amazingly fun game. And when I was playing squad mode, that was really, really good. So the last game I was playing on Saturday night, I was in a squad, and we stayed alive for ages. There's bits where they got on a bike and I had to get on the back, or they got on a car and we sped away because at that point the zone was sort of closing in on us, so we quickly had to find a vehicle, and obviously they were driving. I was just in the back seat, just wondering what the hell was happening with my life. Because at that point I was still trying to get my head around all the controls, let alone what the game mechanics are. But we survived for ages, and then at that point we're down to there's only like 30. There was 39 people alive out of the, I think 90 started in that. And the circle got really, really small, but there's still 30, almost 40 people alive in this thing. And it was absolutely crazy. We're in like I think 3 or 4, I can't remember, but 3 or 4 of us were like, it's slowly creeping around towards the middle of the circle. And then there's this really great moment where we got just inside the circle, and then we basically stayed there and waited for other people who were desperately trying to get into the circle to get in, and we were just there sort of with our guns, sort of looking around. And we killed a few people there, which was super satisfying. Then we went back and crept through. It was also pissing down with rain, so we were creeping through this like long grass and stuff. And in the end, it was really disappointing end because it's suddenly like 3 or 4 people died. I'm like, oh my god, okay, I think the numbers are suddenly dwindling down. And then we turned around and suddenly both my teammates were dead. And I was like, oh my god, it's just me now. And suddenly, at that point, I panicked. But then the circle got smaller. So all of us, I think just before they died, actually, all of us on really, really low health because we'd all been outside the circle because it was shrinking at a much greater rate, and then sadly one of us, so I got killed, and so the rest of us. But yeah, we're down to like the 9th team then, so it was really super tense. So I've what I played so far, squad play is much more interesting. But yeah, it's a great game. Like I said,
have you got a kill yet, Matt?
Yeah, I've got a few kills. I think I've got 3 kills in one round. So got kills. Just haven't done an awful lot with them after that. But yeah, I'm
surprised you've not played this yet, Sean.
I'm a bit burned because I'm hearing all the same things I heard about DayZ, and I tried DayZ and I hated it.
Right. Okay.
So
but this I actually announced yesterday because player, I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's Brendan, but the player unknown, he was on the Xbox Gamescom thing, and they announced it sold 8 million copies.
Fair dues.
Which is insane because it's only come out a few weeks.
He's a rich man now. He's a rich man. It wasn't this based on a mod for another game though?
Well, he also was really heavily into the DayZ mod scene, and then he thought he had his own idea, and then Blue, I can't remember the name of the developer. Blue, someone basically said, yeah, we've seen your mod, whatever you're doing, and move over to Korea and let's make this game together. And they I think Bluehole was the name of the developer actually.
God, I wonder how much he gets from that then.
Yeah, it must be crazy. But
but I mean, not as big. I mean, when you think 8 million copies sold for whatever price, you must think, well, he's a multi-millionaire, but not necessarily, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't know what the deal is, but also, so this has come out to Xbox this year. They announced during the Gamescom stream that Microsoft are publishing it, so they are clearly just desperate to get this out because this is obviously the new hotness right now in PC gaming, and they want to have a big thing out before Christmas. And it's a massive deal for Xbox to get this. This is, I mean, I'm sure it'll be out on PS4 next year. But yeah, the PC I've got, obviously it's pretty low spec and I can play it, but it's not great. But I will definitely be buying this day one on Xbox. It's going to absolutely blow up on console. It's going to be such fun. I mean, it's great to watch streams of people playing it. It's amazingly fun to play it with you and like 3 mates or 4 mates, whatever. It's squad play. It's gonna be fantastic. But yeah, I'm loving it so far. And that's it. Yeah, I'm back. It's really exciting having a PC again. Like even Windows 10's alright. Even Windows 10's alright. I'm quite and
fucking ain't. Tell you that it fucking is not.
I've installed Steam. Obviously, I've installed Dota 2, which I'm excited to try. See what that's about. Because I watched a bit of the International, even though I know nothing about Dota, but you guys are obviously all aware of the International, right? Yeah. That's a big Dota sort of championship every year. I watched a bit of that. I don't know why, but it's fascinating because I haven't really watched an awful lot of esports, but it is fascinating how it feels exactly like sort of, like Match of the Day or like, or basically like football on TV, but obviously for video games. And it's fascinating really. But yeah, I've installed Dota 2. I don't know if I'll give it a go, but I'm interested to see what it's about. And hopefully I've got my streaming issues sorted out. So very excited for Destiny 2 because it is all really leading up to that. I wasn't going to start streaming anything else, but I'll definitely be doing some more PUBG streams in the meantime for sure.
Cool. All right, Sean.
Already done me.
Done, Sean.
We've done everyone, have we?
Yeah,
We've done
that's it,
everyone,
mate. That's it. We can go home.
Blimey.
I am home.
Right. Thanks for living it. Goodbye. Emails. Let's do it.
Hello, Blumberclarts. Out of the blue, I'm going to...
James. Where did that come from?
Well, that's what I'm just started reading the emails.
Yeah,
this always happens.
It's not your fault.
Out of the blue.
Hello, Bomber Clarks.
That's what it says. That's what it says.
James, I listened to the show again last week. Have you thought about not reading out the hi bit in his emails?
Or just starting with the name.
Yeah.
We've mentioned that a couple of times.
Say, we've known
right,
hi.
okay,
His question is...
Also, isn't that an incredibly offensive phrase?
Yeah, I think it probably is. Might have to bleep that.
Go on.
What is?
The B word.
Bumpercluts.
I have no idea.
I think it is.
Really?
I can't remember why, but I think it is, yeah. Which is weird, because we used to say it all the time as kids. Okay. But then I suppose we used to say a lot of shit that was offensive when we were children, so whatever. Okay, go on.
Yeah. Bleeping it will make it sound funny anyway. Okay. Out of the blue, I'm going to be coming into some money soon
Sorry,
via redundancy.
hang on, whoa. I've just gone on Urban Dictionary and Bumberclot, and it says "you fucking fat cunt." So I don't know.
Oh,
Don't know what that is really. But
I don't think
either
that's
way,
what it. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
It's basically a Jamaican swear word said when shocked or angered by something.
All right.
Still believe
Okay,
it.
fine, thanks. The more you know.
Are you going to bleep that out every time that word's been mentioned? Because
No.
be...
Probably just remove everything up until this point, to be honest.
Definitely.
No, keep it all in. Keep it all
You're
in.
not going to edit this, Sean. Come on.
Out of the blue, I'm going to be coming into some money soon via redundancy and inheritance. Around 20 grand.
Blimey.
I've been living...
What?
That's what it says.
Well, we do need new sponsors.
20G.
I've been living paycheck to paycheck most of my life, so it's going to be very difficult to not go completely apeshit and buy everything. Of course, I'll be treating myself to that sweet Nintendo Switch, a nice new TV, and our first holiday abroad in 8 years. But what else
Good
should I
shout.
do with the rest of the money to improve our quality of life? Do you have any experience of having a sudden influx of dosh?
I will
That's
say,
from
before we buy a new
Woodnow High.
TV, wait for the PS4 Pro TV. That's coming soon.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
he
get
could
on that.
sponsor this show.
Definitely.
That would definitely...
Well, this is because I read this in the week and I was thinking it must be like you must feel as a podcast listener you must feel pretty guilty for getting how many hours of entertainment that we've put out just
Hundreds.
for free.
Yeah.
If we say £1 an hour to remove that guilt, I
Yeah.
think it's worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Small
talking about
price
the
to
Joypod
pay.
years as well.
You do the math.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
It's,
Well, it's still not worth paying for them.
let's call it.
Let's just pay for the quality content.
Just call it 7K and
we'll
get
be
over to
done.
me.
Yeah. I mean, the incredibly boring but real answer to this is probably like deposit on a house, right?
Yeah, and what?
And the
Sorry,
rest.
20K.
With 20 grand, yeah.
You having a
it's
laugh?
not- That's the joke.
Sorry, I don't
Sure.
live in the fucking south where you can't get a fucking box
no,
flat
you
for
don't.
$250,000. Jesus Christ. Get out of
you
there,
clearly
it's shite.
don't. What? The South?
Yeah.
Oh, let's
Bollocks,
not
What?
get into
mate.
And
this.
live near more people like you, Sean.
Yes,
So I
exactly.
think I'd rather
Better
just
quality of person, mate. We've got spiritual wealth, which is a real fortune.
spiritual.
I mean,
wealth, go fuck
the
yourself.
other boring answer is pay off debts.
Yes.
Definitely put some way for savings. And then, Lambo.
Decorate where you're living. That will make a huge difference to your life.
Unless
Coffee
he's in rental
machine.
accommodation, in which case,
In which case,
won't
fuck it.
decorate.
Kick a wall in,
fuck
mate.
'em.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
Who needs your deposit now,
yeah.
20 G's in the
I
bank.
don't know really. A sudden influx of cash like that. It's. I mean, part of me thinks because we got a little bit recently. I know nowhere near that, and it's still really gone. But we didn't go and buy anything big or do anything with the money. It was just nice living a couple of months where we weren't completely freaking out about how we were going to survive for the last week of the month. That was quite nice. It took some of the stress off, and it meant that during the week or whatever, when Joe said, "Oh, should we just go and do this? Should we just go to the cinema?" Yes, let's just go to the cinema. We can actually afford to do that this month. That stuff was nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all gone now, and we're back to being horrifically scared
But
of
at least you
every
went to the cinema.
Yeah. I mean, the other boring answer is...
It's Dunkirk, mate. It was worth.
Oh,
every
I've got
penny.
one to
nice.
say we went to see the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, twice.
well worth the 30 quid. The other boring answer is if he's been made redundant, probably don't spend a penny until you've got something else lined up. But you shouldn't...
Yeah, I mean, I assume you've got something else lined up.
I think Switch, new TV, holiday abroad, save the rest until you know what you're doing.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
and also quality of life. I mean, that's obviously, it depends what your quality of life's like now. But, don't rush
holiday
it.
there's a lot to be
abroad.
said for just not having to panic.
Yeah.
Half the time.
What a boring answer.
I've not had a holiday abroad for 4 years now.
Yeah.
God, I miss them. I just that feeling of turning up at the airport. Oh, it's just, and then with the moment you drop your bag off, you're just like, right, that's it. What time is it? It's
Doesn't matter.
5 o'clock in the morning. Right, throw up in a pint. Fry up in a pint. A fry up in a
Your
pint.
holiday, Dave, it sounds crazy.
Just
I'd
throw up
I'd
in the
love,
airport.
Dave, I'd love one
Down a
day
pint.
for Dave, can we do a travel show together?
Oh God, yeah.
I'm going to take you to the Lake District, mate. It's going to be wicked.
throw up on the
What?
pint.
So you go like I take you on my perfect
Yeah, we'll
holiday,
go to
and you take.
Magaluf. But then you have to come to Ambleside.
And I want to take the lot of you to China. I think it'd be fantastic.
See, I'd love that.
That's
though.
just
I would
sounded like a
sincerely love
threat.
it.
I would love to go to China again. Wake up 5 a.m. throw up on a pint. That was not my day.
Next question.
2-part question here. This is from Matt Leatham. He says, "How was that? Was that better?"
Yeah,
by
that's
the way?
really good. Yeah,
That's
Yes.
good.
Smooth.
Right. Okay. All right. Now that console developers are
I mean, you kind of killed it by asking.
No, but I thought I'd just
Don't
clarify,
ask.
just to make sure. Now that console developers are attempting to extend the lifespans of console generations with Pro and S/X versions that will play all the games across the generation. 1. How much will everything being backwards compatible reduce the potential quality of a game that has to play on an Xbox One but actually was designed for an Xbox One X? Number 2. When do you think it would be a good time to upgrade a console to the latest version, or is it still worth waiting for a PS5 or Xbox, whatever it's going to be called? Love the show, guys. It keeps me
Firstly,
entertained.
are they trying to extend the lifespan of the current generations? According to Matt, they're going to announce a new generation next year. So
next year? Yeah.
I just think it's only going to pull the rug from under Microsoft's feet.
for literally no reason. I would say that my mentality towards these new sort of consoles and the way they're doing it is when it breaks, that's when I'll upgrade. When my PS4 doesn't work anymore, that's when I'll have to
Jesus,
upgrade.
you absolute monster.
Why?
They want it.
See, that's what I do with my phone as well. I don't bother. I'm not really that bothered about getting the latest stuff anymore because it's just too expensive, especially with like iPhones. Like
I need
over
to
a grand.
get off that treadmill because it's getting stupid.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, the new phone thing is insane. It's the last.
it just
time I've
feels
done
now
that.
there's less of a reason to do it,
Yeah.
than there ever
Wow.
has been.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I didn't
just
upgrade
stupid.
my phone last year, and it's still going well actually. But
If it wasn't for the
can't have-
fucking batteries,
yeah,
that'd be all right.
That's the only real issue.
Yeah, but that's it. Yeah, that's the killer.
Yeah.
But I used to be able to replace the batteries really easily myself,
Yeah.
but the way the phones are designed now,
Yep.
it's like almost impossible on my fucking thing. Matt, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you could just you have that money to
live
just
up
spend
north.
on. Is it really that much? I guess it is then.
Yeah.
Unless you're on just like a shit ton of money
Well,
that I don't know
also
about.
that, but a combination of two. It's hello new Xbox. No, I also sell everything. I basically have hardly any games for any consoles because I basically just get them, sell them, and yeah. So I'll sell my Xbox.
I would do that, but then James borrows them, and I never
Exactly,
see him
yeah.
again.
Yeah, I basically, I might say, I played this game, got that game, played this game, got this console, but actually, if you look at all the stuff I've got, I've hardly got anything, because I would then, get it, play it, sell it, that'll pay for something else. For consoles, I'll just...
Have you got rid of Splatoon yet?
Yeah, I've sold it on the weekend, yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like I said, I get my fill of it, and I'm sure it'll be great, and if I desperately wanted to play it again, I'll buy it again at a cheaper rate, but right now I can get good money
you
for
won't
it.
be getting that at a cheaper rate, not.
or I just won't play it. But right now, I'm like, okay, it's the amount of time I'm playing it. I've just got Sonic Mania. Destiny's coming. I've got the PC now. I think it's a good time to sell it, put that towards something else later on, so on and so forth. So, yeah.
So, sorry, you were giving it all the big un about being Team Invisible. And really, you're nothing. You don't get to have a discussion.
You haven't got a voice. You
it's an
haven't got a
opinion
voice.
on
No, you
that
don't.
too.
You're not going to get to
Matt,
see
you
how
don't.
the app evolves, Matt. You know, with
God, no, because other games will use it, right? No, okay,
No, definitely not.
yeah.
they still haven't updated that, have they? There's been no
that's
updates
the most,
for it.
that's what you said,
Single
Sean.
update.
That's fucking
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it's
Well,
perfect,
they
mate. It
perfected
doesn't need
it,
any
yeah.
changes. It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be forgotten
Anyway,
about.
how much would I think be backwards compatible affect the I mean, I think it's got to be massively affected because if that wasn't the case,
Oh, yeah, big time.
then yeah, like Xbox One X games could look absolutely mind blowing, but right now, not the case.
And you got to think about the developers as well. How many developers are going to make a PlayStation slash Xbox One version of it, plus a PS4 Pro and Xbox One X version of it? I've got a feeling that the Xbox One X versions will be largely ports of the PS4 Pro versions,
But we've had this
making the
discussion
whole
ages
extra
ago.
grunt of the Xbox One X
And,
just completely
You know,
null
but
and void.
actually, like developers, making games for the Ultra version, let's say PC and Ultra settings, or the Xbox One X or PS4 Pro, and then for the standard PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, then they just downgrade what they've created. previously. But who knows? I'm not a developer, but a lot of people are saying, well, maybe they'll just do what they do on PC, make the best version, downgrade for a lower spec machine.
Yeah.
Who knows, baby? But in terms of whether it's a good time to wait, I mean, it feels like it's a good time to get one now, frankly, because PS5 is not until next year, so might as well.
Man, could you imagine if they announced that?
It's not happening next year. I'm just saying
They're not going to. No.
Maybe we tease
I like
next
the fact
year.
that you've totally backtracked on that.
Look, the whole PS5 thing, what I'm saying is it's happening, and I think they will say here's a new generation, we've been over that, whatever. Whether it's next year or the year after, I'm not sure, but it's happening.
Well, you did specifically say it'd be next year. I mean, specifically said this year, but
okay, well,
I mean, you changed that.
I'm not willing to talk about it right now. Next question.
What are you? Fucking like one of these celebrities on a chat show in America when they're talking about their love life. Well, no, I don't really want to talk about that right here, right now.
No comment. That wasn't on the approved question list.
Can we talk about something else? No. The rest of your life is boring.
Can we talk about my new record?
Well, go on.
Next question.
Okay, Martin Topper says, I won't bother praising you guys for the stellar podcast as I know James will edit it out as he doesn't deal well with praise.
Nice.
You ain't wrong.
Ah, clever, Martin. What he did was he got it in there by saying he wouldn't say it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Got it
I
there,
have a
James.
SNES Mini on pre-order from Amazon, but I'm struggling to justify the purchase as I'm currently saving up for my wedding, and I already have PES 2018 and Mario Odyssey on pre-order within the same month or so. So do I give up the pre-order, justify the pre-order and say it's a Christmas present to myself, or be a dirty scalper and put it on eBay?
Let me be straight up, and I mean this with all my heart. Scalp it. Just scalp it.
You can make cash money. Yeah. Why would you not?
You're saving for a fucking wedding, mate. Don't worry about morals. It's a horrific situation. Yeah. Scalp
also,
it.
The chances are, if you sort of even half wanted it, do a scalper thing, sell it on eBay, you'll probably make twice or three times the amount, then buy it when it comes back in stock.
Yeah, I just scalp it.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know we would complain about Ticketmaster, but you're not a big corporation, are you? So just scalp it. Scalp that fucking shit.
Money to be made, Martin. Get out there. Get amongst it.
Think about all those extra favours you can have on the tables for people.
Yeah, think about the banging honeymoon after you sold the £600 mini SNES.
Yeah. You can get the better DJ. You can get the better one.
Oh yeah, you can get us if you want.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll come do your wedding.
Can we MC someone's wedding?
Oh,
that would be
horrible. That would be.
How much?
I'd do that for free, mate.
Oh, fuck off! No, you've already ruined it now, haven't you? No, we got to put a price on it.
Sean's pricing us out of the market.
Yeah, just undercut you all. I'll do it for free. No, it has to be. I'll do it for free, but it has to be with the team, and they will want paying. How's that?
Right, okay, 300
no one's
quid
pay
then.
400 quid for us.
300 quid, £100 each, apart from Sean does it for free.
I'm doing it for the love, mate.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Nice one.
Or weddings,
okay, Mine, get in contact.
bat mitzvahs,
funerals.
I'm assuming you guys, you'll all do my funeral, right? Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
definitely.
I'm doing the speech.
Who says you're going to die first? I'm probably going to die first.
Absolutely, I'm definitely going to be gone first. I'm older than all of you.
James,
I mean, come on,
James is double all our ages.
James, I've got to ask, is that an asset?
All you've got to do is lift his cold, dead hand and place it on his phone. The fingerprint scanner will do the rest.
Yeah, basically, I've got to be there when you die, see if I'm still warm.
No, you just heat it up.
So just let me know.
Put it in the microwave.
Good point. Yeah, just put it on 220 in the oven for 15 minutes. Lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Whack it on James's iPhone. Fingerprint scanner. Sorted. Jobs are good.
Yeah. Bish, bash, bosh. Look at all those Fire Emblem credits I've just got.
Scalp that shit. Next question.
Turns out, when James died, he just suddenly really got into Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Next question.
Okay. First time emailer. This is James Unwin. Firstly, well done, Matt, for your... You spelled your name wrong, Matt. Firstly, well done, Matt, for your...
Fuck's sake, James.
Matt didn't need that information. He didn't need to know that.
Yeah. Firstly, well done, Matt, for your attempts at PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds the other night. You really smashed them up. It says that. That's not just me messing up again.
I know.
Secondly, with Overwatch trying still to secure new players by bringing out different characters, maps, new modes, is there anything that it needs to bring everyone else of the computer game show into Sean's wave of thought and back playing Overwatch? Could there be something else done that could get you all playing it again or for the first time?
I'd quite happily play again, to be honest with you.
Have you still got it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't own it anymore,
Oh, okay.
but if my mates all started playing it again, I probably would. Saying it, they did start up again not too long ago, and I didn't jump on board, but the only barrier was going out and buying the fucking thing again. So,
Dave, come on, think about it. 2 weeks. Destiny.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Clear.
I like
clear everything else you don't need.
Lawbreakers sounds amazing.
Oh, it's such good fun.
Yeah.
Even in that beta I played, it's brilliant.
Looks and sounds amazing, but when I was watching people play it, I just thought I'd rather play like the PvP stuff in Destiny, not because it's anywhere near as good as a multiplayer game as this looks, but because I know I'll be getting shit for it. You know what I mean? Like for my character and stuff and unlocking stuff. So I just kind of think, I'll just put all my effort into that.
You get unlocks in there, but it's just cosmetic.
Yeah, I know, but the unlocks like are just for that. Whereas Destiny, it's like...
that's one thing about Overwatch that I had it, I played it a bit, probably like 5 hours or less really, but I guess I didn't get any sense of excitement when there's an unlock.
Oh god,
it's
no, it's
a
awful.
cosmetic thing.
Yeah, I didn't like that system.
Whereas with Destiny, it was like, oh my god, I've got that fucking gun. You know, it's different.
Or if you got just like one item that you could trade for something that you can, that's it. That the way that it does all that sort of shit is fucking so good. And as I understand, it's all just horrible, shit that they've nicked from other like RPGs, online RPGs and stuff. But because I haven't played those games, I don't care. It's fine. I'm experiencing it for the first time, and I like it. Okay,
I like that game.
Okay, I've got tweets now. So Alex says, does online quitting affect your enjoyment of a game? Recently I got back into Rocket League, and the amount of quitters when you go 2-0 is ridiculous. Should there be harsher penalties, like 60-minute bans for regular quitters, etc.?
Well, to be fair, the bans on Rocket League are pretty intense. Mm-hmm. If you like fuck up just once, it bans you for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think I've had that before. I think when my connection dropped, and then I went back in and like couldn't get in for a while.
Yeah, puts you on a 15-minute ban. Also, I didn't really mind about. I don't completely hate it when people quit in that game because I see it as a challenge. I'm kind of like, yeah, come on, let's really try and fucking beat them. And I've had it a couple of times where I've lost a teammate and we're 1-0 down, and I still managed to bring it back on my own, right? I did that, and there's no feeling better than that, because you know that other team are fucking furious. I also do this thing that if I'm playing 3-on-3 game, and we're like absolutely smashing the other team, and then 2 people on the other team quit, leaving just 1 person there, I always I always go against the team that I'm on and run onto the other guy's line and start pulling off magnificent saves against them. Because I know that there's that one guy that thinks, oh, for fuck's sake, I've got to see out the rest of this game on my own. Oh my God, this dude's helping me out. What the fuck? Like, I just love that feeling. But yeah, no, do you know what's really interesting about this? The quitting stuff is, I've never really thought of it before, but there's a way in Rocket League to quit a game like without getting banned, and that's to suggest a forfeit. And if everyone on the team agrees to forfeit, then the game ends and you get the points. No one gets banned or whatever. Like, it's fine. That is now seen as part of the etiquette. If you're 4-0 down after a minute, that team should forfeit. They should just forfeit and move on. It saves everyone time. No one's getting enjoyment out of that game. It's just good manners to go, okay, you're better than us, right? Let's just all move on to the next game. And I never really considered it like that before, but apparently it's a lot like that in FIFA as well. If you watch like not pro, but you watch these like YouTubers playing FIFA, if they're battering someone, they're going, just quit. And once they quit, then, everyone can move on with their lives. So not as bad as a problem if you've got that mentality, but I do know what you're saying, because it does happen to me a lot, and sometimes I just kind of think, man, we're 2-0 down and there's only been a minute gone. There's so much time to get back into this. Why have you quit now? But what can you do? Like, I don't think there's any way around it. What they're doing is about as good as you can do, and I don't think you could be any harsher on that.
I must say, I do really admire people when, I mean, we've had it recently, Dave, where we've been absolutely smashing people after like 2 minutes, and then, but they stay for the whole game. I really like that.
Yeah, it's weird. That mentality's kind of changed, though. That's kind of seen as bad etiquette. Not for me. I mean, I've never minded it. Like, I actually quite like it. I just think, yeah, go on, mate. But at the same time, yeah, come on, this is a bit of a waste. I'm not enjoying smashing the shit out of you. I mean, if you're like 3-0 up, if you win like 3-0, that feels good. But when you're like 5-6, it's kind of like, oh God, this is getting a bit. I don't even have to try. It's hard being a pro. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that.
James.
Fucking hell, James.
Well, no, I didn't know if you were going to continue on, but, you didn't.
Continue on after I said that's all I've got to say about that. Okay.
I don't know if Matt's going to chime in or something like that.
And that's the end of that.
I don't know how clear I can make it.
Yeah, but you might, Dave, you might have finished speaking, but maybe Sean had something to say.
Nah.
Dizzy, do you really think he's got anything to say?
Well, no, but, it's still...
Come on then, mate. Should I just finish, like, when I'm ready for you to move on, should I just go, the end? Wait, what do you want me to do?
Finn!
Anyway, Rikaku Police says, Dr. Farley, what was the weirdest thing that you saw in China? I've just come back from Shenzhen and saw at least 3 people defecate in public.
Nice.
I know, defecation, I mean, that's pretty standard in some places. Yeah, it's not that uncommon. I mean...
What?
Well, no, because...
I presume this is, for legit poverty reasons rather than, haha...
Well, you think that, but
Okay.
not always.
Okay.
I mean...
Just bounce. Just trying to bounce.
I remember seeing a kid doing a shit in the underground. That was horrible. That wasn't very nice. But it's really weird because sometimes you see people often kids doing it because there's that whole they can't wait. But then I've seen people making their kid pee in a trash can right next to where the toilets are.
Nice.
And you're just thinking, why don't you just go in the toilet?
Well, that's a bit like when I used to wee in my sink at uni, isn't it? Could have gone to the toilet, but
It's just so
closer.
far away.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Matt.
We all did that.
No, we didn't all go to uni.
Well, if you did, you pissed in the sink.
What, like the
a
kitchen
fact.
sink?
No, the sink in your room.
What? Sink in your room?
Yeah, in halls. Well, I guess you had a sink and a mirror and stuff in your room.
Right. This is a uni
That's
thing.
fairly common in halls.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't relate to any of this. I went straight to work. In the mines. I mean,
Sorry, James. What have you seen?
I mean, I'm just trying to think where to begin because there's quite a lot of. I mean, there was the filth cleaning room in the hospital where my daughter was born.
Sorry, what?
Well, when my daughter was born, in this hospital, there was a room and it just had a sign up that just said "filth cleaning room," which was. Oh, it's basically it was a laundrette, but they
I
called.
bet you had to go in there straight away.
Yeah,
they knew you.
I need to be
So
clean.
shiny
games
guys
that
have been
you
on the
see the games
shanty
like.
again.
Yeah.
I can't stop.
There was also.
I've seen the
I remember
mermaid.
once when I was walking to work, and there was an old woman vomiting, really severely vomiting, over a dog, which was really.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
Well, she might be on the first day of
It
her
was
holiday.
really weird, honestly. And it was one of those things because I was actually with my
Was it 5
mother-in-law,
a.m.?
and we were walking down the street, and we both clocked it, and then I looked at her, and she looked at me, and she was like, it was one of those sort of let's just not talk about this because it just looked really really bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all
Well, you've broken that code.
yeah.
Put it on the podcast.
Yeah, if she listens, she's
She's going to be absolutely gutted.
But there's
Still brushing chunks out of her
I can't
dog's
believe
fur
you
to
told everyone
this
about that
day.
time.
Let's
I
move
was sick
on.
on a
There's
dog.
also,
Let's move
lots
on.
of- I mean, there's people doing dentistry in the street. You see that sometimes. That's
What is this place?
no. It depends where you go, but yeah, that was weird.
What time was that, James? 2:30.
Oh, come on, Matt. Come on.
Well,
That is...
that's all right.
Okay. Right, go on. Next.
You don't want to know about the condom machines, no?
Yes, I do.
Well, they've also got, like, where I used to live, they had these condom machines in the street, like on walls, and they just had they had just the word AIDS written on them in massive words, in massive letters, which was just really weird, because you look at it, you're just thinking, is this a machine that gives you AIDS? And it wasn't, it was a condom machine.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Yeah. And also the cigar that you could buy that claimed it could cure cancer and AIDS. There's a thing about AIDS, I don't get it, but yeah, that was good.
Well, did you bring it over to the West for testing?
No, I didn't know. We bought it for somebody for Christmas as a present.
Me, okay. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, just lots
didn't
of stuff.
Didn't you buy me
that.
one of those?
No, I got you some other stuff. There was
the fag holder, didn't you? The cigarette holder thing.
There was that. No, that guaranteed that you wouldn't get cancer if you smoked using it. Yeah, that was the. Yeah, that's good.
I suppose we'll find out if that works. Right, go on.
Sinui says, I wish games would include an option to mute swearing. Sunset Overdrive had it, but most don't. Why is this, I wonder?
It is. I was thinking this, how far they could take, like, if development costs weren't a thing, like, if it were,
Okay.
I know, it's a stupid thing to say, but, if money was no issue, then, oh my God, I would love it if sort of all first-person shooters had a button to make it sort of kid-friendly, where, like, all of a sudden they become paintball games. And where like, you're playing Call of Duty, and you press a button, all the swearing stops, and it's a paintball game where you shoot someone and they hold their hand up and walk out, like, and there's a marshal waving a flag, like, to tell them they're dead or whatever. I would love that, because it just, honestly, there's so many games. Like, I want to play as much Agents of Mayhem as I can before I write my review up, but when Harry's about, I ain't going to be playing Agents of Mayhem. If they replace that for Nerf guns and no swearing, just so I could switch that on when he's about, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
But back in the day, you could change the colour of the blood, couldn't you?
You could. Oh, well, that's it. I mean, GoldenEye had paintball mode, didn't it?
Yeah.
Totally fine. Yeah. Violence gone. It's only paint.
I'd like it if you could, like, make it so it bleeps the swearing instead, because I just switch that on and just have it on all the time because it just sounds funny.
Yeah, that is funny. It's always funnier.
I mean,
especially when it's slightly off and you can hear the start and the end of the word.
I'm trying to think.
Like bleak, at the end. It's pretty good.
Because he's specifically asked about swearing, I'm trying to think of games that have swearing in, but then don't have loads of other things you wouldn't want your kids to see in here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of a game where literally the only problem is the swearing. And
well, that's what led me on to this. It was kind of like, I was like, I can't really think of a game that, if the swearing was off, would still be appropriate for kids.
Exactly.
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are games like that, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. And that's when I was thinking, well, how do you get around the violence issue? Paintball, marshal, guy puts his hand up, walks off. The next Call of Duty. That's what I'm talking about. Next question.
Call of Dulux. No.
What?
Doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Paint, yeah.
It kind of does work, but not really. Go on.
Matt G. Sanders says, my wife walked down the aisle to I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire from Fallout 3. Any in-game music bled into real life for any of you?
Yes, it has.
Matthew
in a big way.
Murray.
And also wedding related. So at my wedding, on the invites, we asked everyone to add a song to their sort of response to the invite, and then we got all that music, and that was basically the playlist for the evening. Adam Capone came to the wedding, and his requested song was the Wii Shopping Channel music, which I happily put into the wedding playlist. And yeah, at one point that came on, and me, Adam, and a few other people had a dance to it. It's a banging track. I didn't use the full 10 minutes from the YouTube rip I used, but yeah, banging track. So that happened at my wedding. I mean, for people who didn't know what's happening, it was a bit weird, but
I suppose I had Hotline Miami stuff playing at my wedding. That was good. Not when she was walking down the aisle. Obviously, that was Hell March from Command and Conquer.
Obviously,
you also had Skeletons by Stevie Wonder playing.
Did I?
Which
that'll be when Sam White took
GTA.
over the playlist without asking.
Yep. But yeah, you weren't even in the room.
Yeah, I know.
I'll defend him on that. You weren't in the room.
Still should have asked.
But people were asking him to do it. Right. No, has it ever seen... Not really. Only in, like, that I play lots of Mario and Splatoon music at the moment because Harry loves it. That's about it. Yeah, it's never really crept into real life stuff for me, really.
Because you've got a life, innit?
I No, I'm not saying that. I mean, I like game music. I'm not giving it the big one.
Yeah, I know.
But I just can't really think of an instant where that's happened. Okay, fine. Next.
Phil Wall says, who's the better robot builder, Dr. Robotnik or Dr. Wily?
I'd have to go for Wily.
Who's Wily?
Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Oh, I don't know. But I would go for Wily regardless because Robotnik's
The
machines
rubbish,
are
aren't they?
crap.
Shit.
aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, yeah.
Why would you build a little it's not a robot, is it? That's just a cage. That's just the cage that he built. But the cage has got a massive button on the top that just opens it up.
But you need to open it to put the animals in.
Yeah, but then no, doesn't it explode if you press that button?
Yeah, it does. Doesn't just
Yeah,
open. There's all like
actually,
little,
yeah.
Yeah, don't
explosions.
the animals
That's a
get
massive-
hurt from the explosion?
Apparently not. Yeah, maybe they're all flying out, but they're all dead.
It's an explosion, not an implosion. So I'm guessing it's all right, right, guys?
Well, that'd still be enough. Have you heard of bombs?
I've not heard of bombs. What are bombs?
It's this amazing new indie band I've heard the other day.
They're the bomb. I don't know.
right.
It's a stupid question. Phil Wall next.
Louis Belfort says, I know it's not video games, but please ask Matt to explain again why he's okay about paying £1,300 for his iPhone 8. Matt Logic at its best.
I mean, I haven't got time to go into it, but obviously this is a rumoured price for the new iPhone 8, and it's my main computer, and if I use it over 2 years, what do we work it out on the interface, James? It was like 50p a day or something crazy, hardly anything.
Is this
Anyway,
Jill has sent this message? It's just
Yeah, no, she doesn't know the actual price yet, and it's still a rumour, so let's move on.
Matt, if you pay £1,300 for a phone, I don't know how long we can be friends. That's mad. That is mad.
He's mad.
Yeah, but what's the alternative?
Just get a different phone.
Stick with what you got for another
Go
year.
on a nice holiday.
Well, yeah, I guess you sound like my wife. Jesus.
All right.
Stuart Baker says, have you ever bought a game have you ever thought that a game looked or sounded awful but loved it when you played it? I remember thinking that Rocket League looked crap. How wrong I was.
So I was talking about Ironcast. I thought that looked shit because it had the match 3 puzzle bit in the middle, but it's fucking tremendous.
Good point. I keep coming back to it. Dark Souls. It's got dragons in it. It's got shields in it, has it? It's got spells, has it? Fucking good game. Fucking good game. Good game, that one. You got an answer for this, James?
I really can't think of anything at the moment. That's like
Brilliant. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Matt?
No.
Oh, great.
still-
Fantastic. Right. Is that
that.
it?
That's it, we're done. We're
Oh
done.
my god, we did all of the questions.
We did all the questions.
did all the
yeah, well,
questions.
I say all of them, but...
Oh, did you whittle some out?
Yeah.
Oh, good,
maybe.
good.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Matt, what's the hashtag this week? Or whatever.
Hashtag is Smash. No, it's always Smash. Obviously, you want to tweet us. It's at Computer Game Pod on Twitter. Email us at computergameshow@gmail.com. We're on YouTube, etc. We also want we want to get everyone get involved in our Twitch channel. I'm gonna do streaming on Twitch. So twitch.tv/The Computer Game Show. Get over there and follow us, and then you'll be notified when we do streams in the next week or so. Also, get involved in the Discord. The Discord's banging these days. We've got mods, we've got multiple channels, we've got a general channel, gaming, we've got game-specific channels. It's insane. But the link for that is pinned to the top of our Twitter account. So go there.
Should that be the
and
lead
join up.
selling point? We've got mods.
What?
Like, is that something that people are looking for?
I'm just saying that. Well, I mean, yeah, that's not a selling
So
point.
I've also found
but
the
it's just,
multiple channels is a bit kind of annoying, to be honest. It's just
Yeah,
there's too
same.
much bother, to go through
Same.
everything.
I mean, I trust Matt, so whatever. But
No, I mean, I asked the people in there, and they said, yeah, let's. I mean, we've got one for Splatoon, we've got Destiny 1, we've got maybe another one I can't remember, and we've got basically gaming chat, and then general, because most of the general chat was in talking about kids and hangovers and all sorts of stuff. So we thought, let's make that general. We've got gaming chat if you just want to focus on the gaming stuff. If it turns out that just is too disparate and it feels a bit empty, then maybe we'll reassess. But for now, it's different channels.
listen, you lot, thanks for living it. That's what I want to say to you. I appreciate y'all. And we'll catch you next week where we will be back talking about computer games again, won't we?
What?
Won't
Why?
we?
Absolutely.
I won't
don't
be,
know.
but yeah.
I know you won't. Oh,
Whoa.
Are you not here next
No, I'm
week?
not
he's
next
not.
week.
Holy shit.
He's
What's
not.
your excuse?
We're going to have a surprise guest, probably John Benson, next week. So we will catch you on the flip side. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
I'm not doing one. Fuck it.
Don't.
Yeah,
Hey,
me too.
goodbyes.
Fucking attitude. Goodbye.
You always say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Can we just end this,
Goodbye.
please?
No.
Goodbye.
Never.
On the next episode of the Computer Game Show. Goodbye. Bye.
I was thinking actually, when Sean leaves, who's going to be doing the news?
Thanks for living it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Catch you next week, alright?
All right, cheers.
See ya.
Thanks, lads.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Can I start recording now, please?
No.
Nope.
See ya.
We're
See you,
not done
James.
yet.
Oh,
Bye.
Thanks for living it. Goodbye.
Come on, because I've got some potentially libelous news to tell you, and I can't do it when we're on this,
Smash.
so, you know.
I might know what it is.
So tell us anyway, and then we'll edit.
Goodbye.
Oh, shit. Shit. There's a teaser for Shenmue 3 out.
Whoa.
Yeah, I just saw that, yeah.
Right, I've got to go. I'll catch you later.
Holy crap, I
I've
need
got to
time
watch
alone.
this.
All right,
Okay,
I'll
bye,
take
everyone.
off. All right, cheers.
Yeah, I'm going to watch
Bye.
this. Bye.